No.
You said that just as you muted us, Carson. That was so loud.
No.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, I
Welcome
got
to
muted.
the second session of Faerie Fire. Woo!
I thought this was like the 5th.
This is actually the 20th.
Yeah, I'm
5th.
You know,
20.
Congrats.
20th. Yes. I don't need to have your card sheet up now, do I? Okay, nice.
Excuse me?
Yeah. What do you mean, excuse me? I had cams up because of the internet thing, and then,
Oh, okay.
you know, it is what it is.
I was here you're just looking at character sheet things.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely am not scheming.
I'm
and
scared of
making
everything.
plans. Listen, this is my most schemy campaign yet, don't you worry.
Forgot to pull up my character sheet.
Oh no.
I'm gonna
just
raw
need to
dog it.
get on it.
Don't raw dog it, jeez.
Carson knows.
Hey.
Okay. I mean, if everyone just wants to get started, I'm ready.
Hey, you're the
Guys are-
DM.
Yeah.
You tell
Yeah.
us when we get started.
Okay, we'll get started.
Wait, I'm not ready.
Oh my god, I'm not ready.
Gotta open my notebook.
Everyone got the
God.
little notebooks out, everyone ready to note down all the
Hey,
threats I
Cass.
make to your character. Cool. Okay guys, so last session we were introduced to our party and the wonderful city of Faerie. Our 4 party members' fates were intertwined as an elderly man named as Frey Hopkinson offered a deal. And if you guys met him in the small circle, he would take you somewhere and give you information. Once you got there, you were teleported somewhere into a strange room, and Sir Hopkinson was just like, good luck, and just left you. Poofed in thin air after struggling with some puzzles and fighting a fiend and eventually placing a jewel back into its original place. The room kind of faded around you like it was some kind of illusion, and Hopkinson came back in and congratulated you for passing his test, and eventually took you to another room where you could answer questions for you. The party asked their questions and as a collective learned 2 things about this man and his cause. The building was floating above the city in the clouds, and he knew that there was a threat that maybe you guys could deal with. The threat itself, he didn't give too much information about. But once content with your answers and personal questions, you are left, after a little bit of snooping, of course, with an invitation to Mo's fight at the Oven Underdome. You all made your way to the dim, hearing bits of gossip on your way, but nonetheless made it there. And we start off this session with 3 of our party members meeting up at the Underdome, where Mo will be fighting shortly. And I believe last session you all kind of found some seats. I mean, I believe Boone found some seats. And the thing with the Underdome is like the top half of it is like a tavern, and then there's some stairs down that leads to where the fighting takes place. It's not necessarily like hidden by any means. It's just a separate place to separate the tavern and the bottom half. There is a little bar in the corner as well, so you don't have to go up, but there's no windows or anything in this room. And there's a few people kind of, I don't know, lounging about, seeming to wait for stuff to start up, but it's not too busy yet. Is there anything you guys want to do?
Grab some popcorn.
Some popcorn. Okay, yeah. You can get some popcorn for a copy piece.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's like when Mummy would take me.
No.
Oh my God.
Grab some popcorn too.
Here, 1 copy for you as well. It's very cheap here. You know, it's price-wise. But I can actually give you a visual representation of what this place looks like if you want.
Oh my gosh.
We can
Yes.
just, because
You?
I mean, we're gonna need to show you this anyway as a bar map for when the fight eventually takes place.
I don't
So-
know what you're talking about.
I didn't even
You're
send you the model I made in The
elsewhere.
Sims 4.
Oh my god.
I want to see you made it.
Okay. So this is what the
Oh,
kind
love
of this floor looks like. All these bits around this middle bit are like stands where people can sit. I plopped you guys there because I asked Camelia, where do you think you guys would sit? And Cam was like, here. So, and then you've got a little bar in the corner where you can get any drinks. And it's very well lit, but it's still like, there's no natural light coming from here. It's all from lanterns, fire, etc.
Just out of curiosity, are there like posters anywhere that advertise like Mo versus, somebody like that kind
There's
of
some posters around the bottom for what is believed to be this fight. There's kind of like a warm-up fight before the big fight. And it does say, let me move my obsidian notes to the other side. So it does say that Mo is going to be fighting someone called Brennan Eilis.
Oh my god, Brennan Lee Mulligan. No.
And the other two names are written very small, and it's what you could maybe assume is that it's like maybe amateurs before like the big fight, just to warm up the crowd, get everything going. But it is promoted. And you did see some Adjus like on the street, maybe down here that there's a few lined up, and then a few up top, but most of them are down here as well. But yeah. And eventually this room starts to fill up. Mo, are you doing anything during this time?
Hiding in her room, getting ready.
Any particular routine that you are doing, or
Get dressed, mask on, hair back,
yeah, sounds good.
usual.
Okay. And eventually this place starts to fill up with people. I'm just gonna get little tokens just to, we'll use these little coin bags. But like these stands start to fill up, I'm placing these so terribly. And all these stands start to become full. There might be like an odd seat here and there. Wow, moving my pupil. Who gave you consent? Yeah. Did you? Thank you for that. And yeah, and then there's like a few people kind of just slouching about, like maybe hanging near the stairs so they can still see in, standing up instead, the whole deal. And yeah, pretty soon, unless anyone wants to, just jump in if you want to do anything, say anything. The first fight starts. The fighters come out either of these doors. So one comes out this one, the one comes out this one. There's kind of like a lot of worrying and cheering, trying to, the crowd getting quite hype. And there is a man who kind of comes into the center who seems to be like the announcer, just announcing the names of them. Introduces himself as Ren Ollison. He's like a half-elven man. He seems a little bit rough around the edges, but he is like dressed up quite nicely, to put on this event. And yeah, he's trying to get the crowd hype as well. And these two fighters, they come out and just start fighting each other, as fighters do. Would you believe it? One of which is a kind of dwarven young male who has like this long sword. Seems to be doing pretty well, at least at the start of the fight. The other one is a human woman who is kind of falling about at the start, but then as the cheering goes on, she feels it kind of just, you can see she just feels like power going through her as like the crowd cheer her on, and eventually she does win the fight and ends up leaving him unconscious, not dead but unconscious. And yeah, that fight goes on for like maybe 5 minutes. There's a lot of back and forth. And yeah, people are cheering. You can see that everything's started to like settle in. People are ready for this next fight between your friend and this Brennan guy. And yeah, is there anything you guys would want to do either during that fight or before Mo's?
Is there betting involved here?
I mean, if you look around and ask the right people, maybe.
I'm going to try and find some betting.
Okay, make an investigation check for me.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I rolled that in D&D Beyond. Let me use an actual dice.
Okay.
Oh, that was the same thing.
Oh,
14.
14.
Connection.
Okay. I was
I
gonna
like
put some
that.
more of these down now that more people are kind of like, coming in. Okay. So you kind of see these guys kind of talking in the corner. Seem to be exchanging a little bit of gold. It doesn't seem like they're trying to hide it necessarily, but they're trying to keep on the down low. You know?
Yeah, I'll hop on over.
Okay. You see one of them like give you a bit of a side eye, trying to like pretend he didn't see you approach, but
Boy there, fellas. I hear you exchanging coin for some bets.
oh, where do you hear that?
Ah, these ears. Pretty big.
Yeah, they are pretty fucking big. What? I mean, what are you betting on? What do you wanna?
What are the odds on Mo?
Ooh. You probably guaranteed to get some money, so.
Oh, that's no fun. Tell you what, I got a gold piece on the competitor.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sure thing. And he kind of holds out his hand.
Pass it along.
Okay. And then the other guy's like, I'm telling you, man, Brennan's gonna win this thing, I believe. And,
See, this lad gets it.
and the other guy just rolls his eyes and kind of just walks away from you both.
I'll hop back. I'm
Okay.
gonna memorize their face just in case they try to not
Okay.
pay me out.
Okay. Anyone else want to do anything?
Where'd you go, Boone?
Had to take a leak.
Alright, hope it was good. I guess.
A weird thing to say, but yeah.
Oh, what am I supposed to say? Just like, I hope it was bad. Just
You-
awkwardly like turn my attention towards the fighting ring.
I was just like staring him down.
And Mo, is there anything else that you want to do before?
No,
No,
just
you're
get
good.
ready.
I will note that you've probably fought this guy before. You kind of
Mhm.
know him. I don't think you would really have any beef with each other that you know of at least. But like, this guy's not necessarily irregular, but every so often comes by and has a fight with you. So yeah. Let's get this thing started. So Ren comes back out and gets everyone's attention. He's like, okay, everyone, let's get ready for a wonderful fight. And then just yells out Brennan's name. And people cheer. Like, there's quite a big eruption of applause as this guy comes out of this southern door.
Cheers. A little too loud.
Oh boy. And yeah, this guy, I'm gonna use this word again. He looks hench.
It's not a real word. You can't
It
use
is a
it.
real word. It's a real word. Hench is a real word. He looks very hench.
Writing it
Um,
down.
Half orcish.
Didn't know this was an English lesson.
And yeah, he
Orc-ish.
Ish. Yeah, just ish. Half
Like
orcish.
roughly.
And yeah, he walks in the room, he's like holding up his arms, has a great axe in hand, and you know, trying to egg up the crowd to cheer more by, like, you know, raising his hands up, and yeah, eventually settles down a bit as then Ren yells out the name of your wonderful friend. What do you do on your entrance from this door
Run
up
out.
here?
It's like a
You're in
WrestleMania
there?
entrance.
Run.
Um,
Do a lap around.
do a lap around, and you guys notice that the cheering's a lot louder. Like, this is the
think-
loudest cheering you've heard all
Um,
night.
And then I'm gonna point at a pretty woman in the audience, cast message, and say, "Message me later," and give her a wink.
And she kind of swoons a little bit, like.
Oh my god, obsessed.
A bit much.
And yeah, everything, you know, you can feel just everything is getting really hype. Really, everyone's really excited that what's going on. And eventually you both come to the middle and just have a small talk with Ren, who just, you know, goes over the rules, as you know already. And yeah, the fight is ready to begin. Do you want to add any input before this fight starts, Ma?
Let's do this.
And Brenna just nods and gives you like a small, like, little fist bump before you kind of go for your fight. So yeah, would you like to roll initiative? Ooh,
Ooh. 17.
17. Okay, let me roll for. Okay. Where is? There it is. Okay. And if you want, if one of you three, for some reason, wants to get involved, how about one of you roll initiative and any of you three can act on that initiative if you want to do anything?
I've got a +10, so I'll roll.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, I
Run.
think my +0 is actually better.
No, if you want to roll, you can have it.
No, you go, you're good.
Okay, well, we got 20.
What
God.
your dex is like mad high, right?
4.
Oh yeah, okay. So, and what did you get, Mo?
17.
17. Okay.
Yeah, I low rolled, guys. Sorry.
It's all
And then-
good.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, just since you're top of the order, Patty, would you like to do anything as this fight is about to begin? I'll put you on like squares just so it makes it easier.
Just throw a piece of popcorn at one of them. I don't care which.
Roll a d4 for me. 1, 2, it's Mo. 3, 4, it's
1.
Brennan. 1. You just feel a piece of popcorn hit the back of your head, Mo. Any of the rest of you guys want to do anything?
I'm gonna stand up and go Mo!
Okay.
Eating popcorn.
All right. And then it's Brennan's go. Who is firstly going to rage.
Whoa. Love it.
And then what's he gonna do?
Cismo, you're gonna admit that barbarians are superior to fighters.
As a barbarian
Hmm.
main, this is a difficult fight for me.
And they're also going to reckless attack you.
Go for it.
So, okay. So the first one with the great axe is that was so bad. But you don't have that high of an armor class, so maybe it hits. Who knows?
Rude.
15.
Oh, that hits.
Yeah.
Barely.
Okay. So, why don't I have my dice out? Jesus.
Real prepared.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, and then sorry. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 points of slashing damage.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do another attack on you. Oh, it's reckless. Oh, that was the same roll. So hits you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a another. Did I say 14 before? It's 14 anyway. So
Yeah.
and I
Can't
believe
remember
that's
which
the
one I
end of our guys' go.
Okay.
How much was that in total?
That was a lot.
Yeah.
POV Mo dies in the second session.
Looks like I'm
Okay.
getting my money after all.
And yeah, then it's your go. Remember, it's also advantage because he reckless. So
Yeah. On all attacks I make this round?
yes.
Okay. I'll start with my 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So 24
Hits.
and dirty 20.
Yep, both hit.
Nice, nice. That's the percentile. 16 damage total.
Nice.
And then I will. Oh, I didn't do. Oh, I hit anyways.
Yeah, you did.
Then I will action surge.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Going right for it.
If I get advantage. Would a 17 hit?
17 does hit, yes.
Okay. And
I'll say, because you fought this guy before, you'd know his AC is like 15.
okay.
It's not changed much since then.
Okay, then yeah.
Because he wears the same armor all the time and stuff, so.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Okay, so those both hit. Those good rolls. That is 19 damage.
19 damage. Okay, half because rage, right?
Yes.
So.
I mean, no, that's not how barbarians work.
Secret magic sword.
Okay, so then.
Just for good measure, I will second. Yeah, I'll second one.
Okay.
Oof.
Ooh. Yeah, a lot of hit points back.
That man's heading.
Okay.
Alright, is that the end of your go?
There my go.
Okay, party, anything you guys want to do?
Can I command Piero to land on Mo's shoulder?
Yes?
And I want Piero to cast Mage Armor on Mo.
You cheating son of a bitch.
Schemes.
I'll try to
Make a- do
hide
you wanna-
it in the popcorn bucket. Like me casting.
Okay, make a stealth check with both Pyrrha and you.
Okay.
Because...
Let me pull up Piero's stats.
Heroes +0. He might have good decks. He's a bird.
Kaya's first because Kaya's is 5.
Okay.
Cheating son of a
Piero's
bitch.
is 21.
21. Whoa, Pyrrha's a sneaky little lad. There is a couple people who kind of clock you, doing something, but don't see what is actually happening effect-wise, what you're doing. Just see you doing some weird motions. But they might be a little bit onto you. So yeah, you've
We're back
now
to eating popcorn.
mage armored.
That-
Okay.
I have the spell. I don't know what it does. I mean,
Your
I know
AC
it does.
is
13 plus your dex now. So whatever your dex mod is.
So
Yeah.
it might be.
Might be a little
Okay,
bit
so
higher.
yeah, it's 16.
16,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Anyone else want to do anything?
Not yet.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a bit
Uh-oh.
cheeky.
I just want to clap for Mo. You got
Okay.
this. Go.
Annie is supported best friend confirmed. Okay. So yeah, it's Brandon's go again. Who isn't going to reckless attack this time, he's just gonna do straight attacks.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay. That's another 50. Why do I keep rolling the same
Misses.
number? Jesus.
Weighted.
Well,
weighted
yeah, it
dice.
misses. It misses because you now got. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's a 16, so that's a glancing blow, right?
Yep.
Okay. 13 halved, which is 6.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's that go. So,
Mhm.
but it's your go.
Throw my sword just for fun.
Oh, of course.
Do we have the rights to that? Sorry. 2 attacks.
2 attacks.
Boom, boom, boom. That is just a 15, so that's glancing.
Yes.
And that's an 18, so that's 12.
Yeah, so both of them hit.
So that's 7. Nice. 7 plus.
So is it 7 the first one?
Yes.
Okay, so that halved. would be
No,
3, and
it
then
was 8, so half to 4.
and then halved
plus.
again because of Ridge.
Oh yeah, so 2, so 5.
Okay.
And then the math is so hard. Why is the Perry Platypus theme stuck in my head?
That's a good
12
question.
half to 6.
12 half to 6. Okay, is that because of the Rage, isn't it? So 5
Yes.
and 6, 11. Okay. Math is fun, guys.
Come on, you can do this. I need to get you
I
like one of
did
those old-fashioned
I did it.
calculators.
I'm a
Abacus.
smart
Oh, an
little lad,
abacus.
okay? I say that as I forgot what the HP was before I started minusing stuff. I'm fine. I'm okay. Don't worry. Okay, there we go. Alright. Is that the end of your go?
Yes.
Okay. Party. Anything you guys want to do?
Kick his ass.
Love this.
Party's scheming and I don't like it.
I love it.
Deciding whether or not it'll sink down to Kaya's level.
I don't know
Oh,
what you're
good.
talking about. It's all fun and games.
Have honor. Be honorable.
Be honorable.
Who needs honor when you're having fun?
That's true.
I mean, a little bit of a point.
Just to even the playing field, since things have been a little out of it, I'm going to cast Healing Spirit on the other man.
Counter spell.
Hey.
What level is Healing Spirit?
It's second. I don't. I'm a
Mine's
ranger.
Yeah.
Automatically
Yeah, so
ends.
just...
You.
I imagine
Oh
like
my
Kaya seeing
god.
Boone start to cast, and I just like smack his hands, like.
I'm imagining Arnie in between the two of you, like
just hit the back of their heads, like...
yeah.
Those are
Guys-
friends. We have to be on their side.
Counter
for
spell. Do I
this.
still spend the spell slot? I don't remember.
Yeah, you do still spend a spell
Okay,
slot.
gotcha.
But
The,
You
the
should
telltale
support
game, like
Mo.
Boone, will remember this.
yeah.
Your hour of most need.
We should support Mo, most definitely, but it should still be a fair fight. I think Mo can do it.
I'll huff and drop mage armor. Fine.
Okay. No more
Okay.
mage armor for you then. Back to 14 AC, right?
No, it's a 50.
It's a 50. Okay, noted.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mage armor brought it down a step.
Yeah, major. It counteracted.
Yeah,
Good
yeah, yeah.
frog.
Okay. So, if that's your guys' go, Brennan will go. Are you looking bloodied?
Not yet.
Okay, he's gonna reckless attack then.
Okay. Close, but not yet.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
So that's
Yikes.
Can I snap my
Okay.
fingers? Oh wait, no, I can't. I use my reaction. Sorry.
yeah.
My counter spell.
Just
Let's
had
see
this
if-
talk,
I
Kaya.
don't even spell it.
No, but I don't want them to kill Mo.
I think
Uh,
Mo was.
It's the kind of place where people die.
18 points of slashing damage. You don't know. You've never been here.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I'd known.
Now I'm looking
Um,
around.
Okay, and then second attack.
You can't knock me down as Queen of the Ring and second
Queen?
session.
Queen, did you say?
Maybe.
The next one is like the next one's
Oh my God,
20 something.
Lore reveal.
Yeah.
I
Ooh,
rolled
could
a
be
1
done.
on the damage, so that's 7 points of damage. Slashing.
Okay. I'm
Um.
will be done if I don't take him down.
Okay. That's his go.
And I get
Um,
advantage. Because he reckless.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
How's he looking?
1 sec. Let me look at his max chase for a sec. Bloodied.
Could I take him down this round?
What's your modifier on your what weapon do you have again?
Long sword, and it's a D10 plus 3.
You get 2 attacks?
Yeah.
So the max you could do is 26.
It's 26.
But it's half, so it'd be 13.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
'Cause I'll be
I'd
done.
say you're not 100% sure, but you know it'll be close. If
Yeah.
no matter how well you do.
You already second winded, didn't you? Damn.
I'm seeing what else I have.
Stack all your spice on it.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Spicy stuff.
Jeez. I don't like shit all.
Don't have any like super
Fighter,
secret
fighter.
bonus actions or
I hate fighters. I should play barbarians more often.
Killables.
Okay, that's it's an 8, that's 12, yeah, it's an 18. And 16.
So you said you
so yeah.
got an 18 and a 16?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, so both of those hit.
max damage, easy.
Well, I rolled a 9 on 2.
Close enough.
So,
So
15
what's the total?
total, brought down to something.
Okay.
15, whatever you do.
Ooh, okay. Looking very hot. But not
Don't-
down yet.
Ah!
Yeah, is that the end of your go?
Yes.
Party, what do you want to do?
Nothing.
Fair?
I'm just gonna put my
Oh, you
hand on
popcorn.
top of Kaya's, yeah, and be like, we have to let the fight carry on
What?
naturally. Well, just in case you get any ideas.
I have plenty.
Yeah.
I'll put a paw on the other hand.
Oh my God, they're all holding hands.
Kind of like guiding them up as he's eating popcorn.
Okay. Then you got your guys Brennan's go. Who what's he gonna do?
It's a great
I really
question.
want to be in charge of this place, fighting
He's-
this much.
He's gonna straight attack you. He's not gonna
Okay.
reckless.
Not gay attack.
Not one.
Well, the first one was a nat 1. You just manifested it, so
Do it
Psychic,
again.
my psychic abilities.
Natural 4.
Natural 20.
it's a
I see 12.
14.
Oh, I was close.
Oh,
Glancing blow.
dancing blow.
Glancing blow. Okay, let's see how much damage it does then.
Do I be sneak? Could I sneakily do shield?
It's a reaction.
Is there
It's a reaction. What
But I'm allowed
components
to
does
do
it have?
much for the fight.
It's a plus
it's
2
the
to your
I
AC?
Plus 5.
No, it's plus 5.
Plus 5. Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was plus 2 for some
Yeah.
reason. That's even
Yeah.
better.
Verbal
It saved
scenarios.
Callan's ass the other night.
Question: how much HP are you on?
5. A 3.
Oh boy.
You'd
Yeah.
be known as the weakling that needed magic.
I mean, if you want to, you can roll a stealth check.
Yeah, that's what.
I'll allow it as your, because why not?
Natural 20.
All right. Well, you get away, casting shield,
Whoa!
so it doesn't hit you. Whoa. So.
Whoa.
I just feel
whoa.
dirty for doing it.
All
Now
right.
you have to live
Well,
with the shame of your actions. Mo.
and yeah, that's Brennan's go. So
Come on. He has a 15?
15.
16. And a 9. Okay.
Can they reroll the 9? Like, so can I use my ability without anyone noting? Because it's not a spell, it just says that I can magically exert limited control over the flow of time.
Yeah, no one will notice that.
We'll do the first attack first, and then we'll see if.
Okay, and see if I
you-
need.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
That is 11, so 5 or 6, whatever.
How do you want to non-lethally take this man out?
I kick him down,
Okay.
throw my sword in the air, and people have seen this start cheering a bit.
Yeah, of course.
Run my hand across it, cast green flame blade. So my
Yeah.
sword is now flaming green. I stab it down beside him. Not to like hit him, but like
Mhm.
beside him.
Yeah. And are you keeping him at least conscious, but just down to, if
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I'm not
works.
auto-critting on him.
Of course. Yeah, and then everyone just erupts in cheers. As Ren comes out and just holds your hand up as the winner of the fight. The atmosphere is very intense. Everyone, again, this is the loudest you have heard people cheer, even louder than when Merv originally came out.
Yeah.
And Ren's like, the queen is still victorious. And now you kind of
Queen.
see why they call Mer maybe the queen of here. Very skilled. And yeah. That is Brennan kind of like gets up, spits out a little bit of blood, you know. You have just had a bit of a fight. Comes over and gives you your hand a shake.
Shake his hand, yeah.
This guy, you know he has respect for you. Like,
Good fight again.
and just nods, and then he dips back. And as per, you know, tradition that you have here, you get given a moment just to like clean up, rest up, maybe get some healing from somewhere, you know. And then Ren asks if anyone else wants to fight the queen to try and take the crown. I will say, do you want me to just roll you some health from what I feel like you'd be able to get?
Sure, yeah, whatever.
Okay, let me just do that. What's your max?
45. I should really
think
cast when we level
Arnie
up.
will turn to Kaya and Boone and say, Mauve fights quite skillfully. Do you think I should challenge her?
Just thinking the same thing. You know, you want to have a roll off, so you get to go first.
I think we should.
One extra fight a night. I'm not fighting both of you.
Okay, well, we'll see who gets to fight you this time. Okay.
24 points of healing, by the way.
My first? Yeah.
Yeah.
I rolled an 18.
Oh, I got a 15.
Yeah. So, Boone, are you standing up to the challenge?
Oh, not only am I standing up, I'm just going to do like a big old jump flip into the center of the ring.
Make an
What?
acrobatics check,
hey, buddy.
Misty. Let's see how cool you look.
Dear God,
Natural.
please. It's 11.
Okay, you do the flip. You kind of don't land flat straight on your feet. You do like a look. Do you know like when
Like
a
a jump hop.
gymnast? Yeah, like when a gymnast like does. You see them practicing to do like the flip, but then they kind of jump forward a little bit, like a little bit of a stumble. Yeah, you can do that. But people are impressed. They give like a bit of a cheer. And Ren's like, "Well, I guess we have a competitor." And looks to Mer to get you to come over.
I didn't say to clarify. Crossbow's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All
Come on,
right.
bring your token in here. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Forgot I gotta actually.
We're here and you're here. And oh well, yeah. Well, you actually have to start in the middle, fun fact. So yeah.
It's fun.
So, and Ren comes over, explains the rules. I will tell you what the rules are right now. Get them up on my phone. Because you wouldn't have heard them before, but now you know what they are. I messaged Aaron them earlier, so I can just find them real quick. Okay, so he explains that there's 4 rules. 1 is no lethal damage. 2
Okay.
is no magic damage, but that doesn't include damage for magic for like flashy effects, if that makes sense. You're allowed to do that, but you're just not allowed to use any magic to actually like hurt your opponent. No performance enhancers, and the results of the fight must be accepted by both parties.
No
That's why I was
performance
scared
enhancers is
when
sad. I just
Kaya
turned
cast
towards
Nature. I was
Yes.
like,
Kaya.
I'll just do a little wave.
And so, just to be clear, that means no hunter's mark. Because that
Yeah,
gives
because it would
bonus
be a spell.
damage.
Anything that would be a cantrip or use a spell slot, not
Mhm.
allowed. Unless it's for like a flashy effect.
Unless I do my special
Interesting.
move.
Interesting shield and mage armor.
You didn't see me do shield.
Hey,
Hi.
that doesn't mean you can't get aware of it if you're sneaky.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
sneaky, but
rules are made to be
Come on,
broken.
this is the dim. What do you expect?
Like buildings or people. You just quoted Jinx. Okay.
I want to
you
turn to
guys-
Arnie. So, since we know both of them, I can interfere now, right?
No.
Bone's wanting to
Are you
test himself.
sure?
He's not going to use any magic.
We should let them fight naturally and see who comes out the victor. That's the exciting thing about fights, not cheating.
Thought it was winning, but okay. To each their own, I guess.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to roll initiative, and then if one of you two or both of you want to roll separate for yourselves, you know, to if you do interfere or want to do anything, then you can either act on the same or act differently. It's up to you guys.
Fine acting on the same if you want to roll. I don't care.
That's a 12 for us.
19.
22.
19,
So you're
22,
lower than
just,
You gotta move away from me though, so
Why?
Oh, but
Oh.
disadvantage if you're using your crossbow, buddy.
Not for me.
What? Oh, you got stupid range thing.
22.
that's so good.
He's just going to stick out
what-
his paw.
and
May the
12
best bunny
fine.
win.
Not the best bunny.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
Okay. So that's. It was Mo, not Mo. It was Mo who got 19 and Boone who got 22, right?
Yes. Considering my +10 initiative, I'm not rolling very well.
I know, right?
No,
And then-
kidding.
Okay. So, first person. Mo, not Mo. Boone. I was gonna say Mo. Ugh.
Okay.
Boone, you're up.
Well, since I'm not doing Hunter's Mark, I believe, let me double check something. I believe I'll get 4 attacks on my first turn.
Ooh.
Just want to double check so I'm not cheating. Make sure I'm not like using 2 bonus actions.
Is someone just naming all the people in the crowd out chat? Because I see
Yes,
quality control.
that's so
there now. I'm down for that.
Oh yeah, no, I just get 4 attacks.
Nice.
Okay, let's roll 'em.
Cool.
First one's a nat 20.
Nice.
Ooh.
Second one.
Let's go.
Funny.
I'm gonna look at Arnie.
Okay, second one's
Beast.
only 12.
Misses, yeah.
Third one is a 15.
Hits, yeah.
Fourth one is a 24.
Nice.
So that's 2 hits and a crit, I believe.
Can I make Boone reroll the crit?
As a reaction?
Yeah, it's my reaction to use the chrono
Yep,
shift.
I'll allow it.
Piece of shit. That's going to be 21.
Hits.
At least it's not
Oh,
crit
is
though.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just gonna total up all the damage.
Yeah.
So it's 3 normal attacks. I'm just gonna use a calculator because that's too much math for my head.
Your widow head.
Bony
Give
head.
it a whap it head.
D8. 25 points of damage.
That's just basically all your healing gun.
Yeah, I'm gonna be done.
Yeah. Is that the end of your go, Boone?
And then just for no, actually that is damn. I can't use that. That's a bonus action. Yeah, that's mine.
Mhm.
No, it's your go.
Yeah, I'm done. 14, 16. No, not 16. That's a 13. 19.
Hit.
7 damage.
Okay.
Is that your turn or?
Yeah, it's
Don't
my
you-
turn.
I thought you had 2 attacks.
I did
Yes.
2 attacks. I rolled a 13, I think, for the first
Oh,
one.
gotcha. I didn't
Okay.
hear that.
Yeah.
Now I feel bad.
Now the party
Hey, if you want to be the
is
king, go for it.
up.
I'm
Your
just going
turn.
to clap in the spirit of good sportsmanship.
I'll follow Arnie.
What are both your passive perceptions?
16.
Well, all
12.
of yours actually. That might help.
Oh,
16.
sorry.
12.
Okay, anyone who's above 15, you notice like this guy here. He's kind of got his hood up, and he's acting a little bit weird. But he's watching the fight. It's this. I'll put a little red circle around it.
Quality.
No, it's not Collie, unfortunately. Collie's a
With
good little
that-
guy.
On my turn, can I get up and just like move over here to the bar, get some popcorn, and just like observe this
You'd have
person
to
instead
like
of the
walk
fight?
around past him. Because obviously this is like stand, so this would be like a drop off, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So would you still like
Okay.
walk past him?
Yeah.
Make a perception check for me.
That's a 16.
This guy's twitching a little bit.
See Twitch
Okay.
primary?
Well, Boone, feeling very superior in this moment, is going to spend his turn showboating.
I will say, after the parties go,
Ooh.
so the clerics that are on hand, they are very in favor for Mo. And they kind of hang around where Mo's door is. And they're both going to send some healing Mo's way.
Oh,
Some good money.
Listen, this third match is more just for fun.
fun,
It's not meant to let anyone actually win, so they're making sure that nobody actually
You're not
wins.
supposed to win, basically.
Yeah.
rigged.
The question is, does Boone notice?
What's your passive perception again?
16. Passive investigation's 18.
And think. Since you're in the middle of this fight, roll a perception check for me, actually. Since,
Okay.
you know, I think because you are a bit distracted, you know.
Trying to kill me.
That'll be a 12.
You don't notice because you go back to them. You know, it's harder to see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 points of healing.
Hey, nice.
But you know from, because you know these people, they're always here. They're probably close to being tapped out on those spell slots because obviously they don't do it often enough to, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
Now it's Boone's go.
if Boone didn't notice, I said he was going to spend this turn showboating. Let me see.
I was just on their knees right now. Oh no.
It's just for dramatics, and then you're gonna get up and
Yeah,
wreck his shit. There you go.
Just to showboat, Boone is going to cast Rope Trick, which just spins a piece of rope in the air in a different dimension. And he's just going to grab onto it and swing around Mo.
God.
And we'll all like
Nice.
doing the like cheering motion.
And people are cheering, but like there is
Oh
some
my
people who are kind of like Who the fuck is this guy? Like, what is he doing?
Is that a spell?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's amazing.
it's a showy spell, in it.
I love that.
Okay, well, let me just erase this.
And that will be Boone's turn.
Okay. It's Yoga. I keep almost calling you Mal. It's so bad.
That's why I do it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I just stand up.
Mm-hmm.
2 swings.
Okay.
Boom. That's a 24.
That's gonna hit.
That's a 17.
That's gonna hit.
Damn.
Damn.
I don't know. I just like saying words. And damn, was that 26 damage?
Wait,
Ooh,
actually?
Yes, I
that's
rolled
so
2 dice.
much. Are you good?
I'm still up.
How you feeling?
Okay.
Oh my god.
Is that the end of your Goma?
Yeah.
Yeah, party, is there
You
anything
sure
you
I'll
two
be
want to do?
I think
I
Arnie
will-
like. Oh, go on.
Yeah, I will cast message to Arnie and like be like, hey, this guy looks a little sus, and I'm gonna be keeping an eye on him.
If Paya points him out, can I notice him then? The sus person?
Yeah. You'd be able to notice, you know, hood up, a little shifty, you know.
Mhm. If that's the case, would I be able to come, like, stand in front of him?
Are you doing this in a way of intimidation, or are you just doing it, like, to act like, I'm just standing in front of him so I can watch the fight from here, like, kind of thing?
Yeah, I think Arnie wants to try to play it off like, yeah, like
Okay.
I'm just trying to watch the fight, but my true goal is to like post up and be like, hey, just in case this guy
Yeah.
like jumps in the pit or something.
Okay.
Uh,
Alright. So you move there. Okay. Is that what both of you guys want to do?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So as you do this, this guy starts coughing a little bit. I need you to make a dex save for me.
Dex save.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Use my green
don't like
dice for
this.
good luck. Let's see.
As this
For
guy starts
action.
to cough up this like really weird silvery liquid. Like
Okay.
Dracula?
I got a
Yeah.
19 plus 0, so just a
Okay.
19.
you get a tiny bit of it on you, and you take you take 3 acid damage from
Okay.
this.
What's that about?
Yeah. And if you look at him, he seems a bit irritated. Let me just see what this guy next to him as well. Oh boy. This. How much HP does a commoner have?
5?
Or
This guy fucking dies.
Like full on right in front of
Like-
us.
He collapses from this weird poison. I'm gonna put it here so we can, just in case more people die, we can count how
Oh my
many.
god.
Just in
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Wait 1 second. Hmm.
Oh, I don't like this. Especially because I'm taking Boone out.
No, sorry. I thought there was something I could do, but I can't.
Yeah.
Never mind.
All right. Back to top 10. Boone. What are you doing?
Puffed up blood. Do you see how much health I have left, DM?
No, I have not got your sheet up, so.
Okay.
If you're looking, buddy.
Boone's he said he would use no magic, so He's just gonna go for it.
Let's go, Boone. You got this.
Go, Boone. You can get me. Maybe.
That is going to be an 18.
Hits.
That is going to be a 20. Not that.
Hits. Dirty hits.
And that is going to be a 15.
Hits.
Bunch of normal hits.
I don't invite friends. I feel bad.
Rolled all fours. Interesting. 24 points of damage.
Ooh, I'm done.
Ooh.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
22.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I want
King
you
of
to
the
know I
ring.
had 1 HP left.
Oh.
Damn.
I did not expect to win that.
You love to see it.
Congrats.
Oh no, the queen has been defeated.
Oh my
Oh
god.
Nice.
no.
You fight less.
Well, of course. How do you want to do this non-lethally? Like, how do you like?
Okay. What Boone's gonna do? I assume Mo is wearing pants of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Boone shoots a crossbow into both legs, so they're like pinned to the ground, and then like steps forward and does a jump headbutt into the bottom of their chin.
Oh.
Oh,
So
sick.
they're
Ugh.
And like, pretty quickly, you do get healed to at least 1 HP. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so you're at least awake. And yeah. Oh no, of initiative yet, guys.
We're
I'm-
not. 2 of us have 1 HP.
Question. Just to make it easier, we'll keep both of you two at 12, but which one has the higher deck so we can, you know.
It's gotta be Kaya. Yeah, Arnie has a +0.
Yeah.
I have a +1, baby.
And then Ani, cool. What do you guys want to do? Because I'd probably say that most 10 probably passes just because of the timeout, so.
Can I ask, did it seem like this, I know I'm not up first technically, but did it seem like this person was coughing involuntarily or they were like doing it on purpose? Do you know what I mean?
Involuntarily.
Like, okay. I'll let Kaya take his turn first then.
Can I have Piero fly up and like pull his hood off?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that I'd say that's probably. Actually, no. He's a little sparrow. Make him make a strength check. He's a little guy.
Little guy.
It's a natural 19.
No, yeah, so he pulls back the hood, and you kind of see this human man. He has really heavy bags under his eyes. His hair's a mess. A small like goatee, and he looks like his eyes are a bit bloodshot. He looks like he's out of it, but you can't tell exactly what it is that could be causing him to bear this, at least not at this moment. So, and he's still like twitching a bit, and like, no, his entire body's basically twitching.
Does he react to his hood being pulled?
He kind of flinches a little bit as it gets pulled.
If I cast a spell, can I make it non-lethal?
Yes, it depends on the spell, but yes.
I don't think it'll like.
Patient.
I don't know if it'll knock him out. I just want to do Mind Sliver, the cantrip. So he
Tell me
needs
what
to
it
make
does
an
again.
intelligence saving throw of 15.
15. Okay. What does Mind Sliver do again?
He takes 2d6 of psychic damage, and the next saving throw it makes, he subtracts a d4.
Intelligence save. It's a 10.
Okay, so he takes 2d6 of damage.
Damn.
He takes 7 points of psychic damage, and subtract a d4 on his next saving throw.
That's 7 points. Cool. All right.
Still
Ani.
standing.
Yes, he
Can I
is.
block the stairway? I just want to like move over a bit.
Of course. Ani, what do you want to do?
I don't know. guy is definitely suspicious, but like, don't want to straight up murder him.
And like at this
So-
point, like for example, Quality and Liz have
Oh,
like
yeah.
noticed this person who has kind of collapsed to the ground and are like looking around and maybe trying to make move to see if this guy's okay.
Can I make like a medicine check to try to see like what is
Sure.
up with this man?
I'll let you do it as a bonus action if you want.
Okay.
Take your time to do that.
Oh, not 20, so +2, a 22.
You can tell that this is definitely some kind of like influence of something that maybe he took.
Okay.
Although you don't recognize these kind of symptoms. Whether it's because you haven't really been in Faerie that long, or it's like you just, do you know what I mean? Or like you just haven't seen it at all, you know.
Okay, then can I use my action to grapple him? I want to like try to like take him like out the the doors.
He's gonna, you know, want to fight this off, so
Okay.
roll strength.
Oh, that's a 22 again.
He has minus a
Um,
d4. Would it be strength saving? throw?
Yeah, he had
Was it just an attack or was it just roll?
my strength.
The minus d4 thing.
Oh, I think it's just.
I think it's
ability check.
saving throw.
Oh, saving throw. Okay.
Let me double check.
Is grapple not
Yeah,
a
next
strength
saving throw.
saving
But does this, is it a strength saving throw or is it just a strength check?
I thought it was just
Contested
contested
strength checks?
strength. Yeah.
throw?
So-
I could be making stuff
You're
up.
good. You're good.
I like to
Um,
do that.
Also got a 22.
Okay. We're evenly matched.
So I'd say that you do not grapple him, but you are definitely in his way.
Okay. And then I guess so I use my bonus action for my medicine check. Can I use like my free like object interaction to just be like, I just want to speak to him and just be like, are you okay, sir?
can.
See if he responds. Is everything all right?
Yeah.
Do you need help?
And then would that be the last thing you do in your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. If that's the last thing you do on your turn. Okay. You've very much angered this man. And he pulls from his back that was kind of sheathed under his cloak a longsword. And goes to attack you. Yeah. Let me change up the music for this. How about we do
At this point,
one?
do we notice what's happening?
You'd start to notice because obviously people are kind of like moving to check on this guy who died.
This poor man.
Yeah.
Or poor person.
Okay, so the first one I cannot find. There it is. Okay, 14 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
Second one is a 20 something to hit.
That hits.
Doesn't
Yeah,
hit.
so
Yeah, I
Oh my
cast
God,
shield on
where
them.
am
Yeah, I got shield from.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a
Um,
reaction.
I need you to be in 5 feet of me. Ah!
Okay.
True, true.
Oh, he max damage that.
It's okay, I'm
So
tough. I'm tough.
that's... You can't do math. 13 points of slashing damage. Yeah. That's his go.
Cool.
Back to shop with actually after that, since you know this commotion is going on, these clerics, you know, they might have not noticed what exactly is going on, but they're going to move forward to make sure you guys are both like at least a little bit healthy using the last of their spell slots. So you both get a cure wounds each. It's D8, isn't it? Okay.
D8 plus
nice.
their spellcasting, I think.
Yeah. Well, they'll be doing 2d8 because of how the thing
Ooh.
works. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15 points for Boone.
15, not bad.
Yeah. Oh, and 15 points for Mer as well.
Nice.
But that's the last of the healing that you're getting from these guys, so
It's better than 1.
yeah. And then
I'm
it's
gonna-
on to Boone.
I'm gonna turn to Boone and say, "Congrats! I could use a vacation."
Yeah. I think you would have had me beat if you weren't tuckered.
So yeah, Boone, you're up.
So did I just notice our party mate getting attacked?
Yes, she would have noticed this.
Okay, and he has a minus D4 to his next save, right?
Yes.
Okay, Boone is going to dash over here and hit him with an ensnaring strike.
And what does that do?
So I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
Okay, minus d4. That's a -1.
No.
To be fair, I do actually have to roll to hit with an attack. So
Okay.
it's just the next attack I hit, so it doesn't really
Mhm.
matter.
Mhm.
That's a nat 20. So
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, shit. I'm just
Mess
kidding.
him up.
That'd be fun.
so if he failed, he is restrained by the spell for up to a minute, and he has to make a strength check on his turn as an action to try and escape from it. And the damage he takes, because I don't want to kill this dude, I'm just trying to restrain him, but I did accidentally crit. 11 plus another d6. So it's 15 damage total, and he is restrained.
15. So that's.
Is he looking bloodied?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, then Boone's gonna use his other attack. Because Ensnaring Strike was a bonus action, but he still gets 2 attacks. That's a 20 to hit, not dirty.
Yep, that hits. Let me just do
And that's gonna be 10 damage.
10. Noted.
And then Boone, being a little hurt, is going to just move this way and block this other exit.
Okay. That's the end of your go. Mer, you're up.
So what are we trying to do with him? Do we want to talk?
You see that he is currently held in place by thorny vines.
Okay, I will cast Charm Person then.
Okay.
13 Wisdom.
The natural 20.
Oh.
No charm person for you, bestie.
That's all I got.
End of your go? Okay. Higher.
Is he looking bloodied now?
Nope.
Oh!
Since Arnie and I are on the same initiative, can I ask Arnie to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'll allow you both to swap out.
Just be like, can you hurt him, please?
Sure can. I'm going to. Oh, interesting.
He has disadvantage on dex saves.
He does. DM, I'm gonna message you a question real quick.
Oh, in fairness, is he humanoid or is he large?
Humanoid, he's a human.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's the wrong person I was about to message, Carson.
Imagine.
All the backstory deeds.
I love how quality is rolling better than all of us.
I
In the
mean,
chat.
Quality was rolling some stinkers there for a second. I think they got like 2 8s in a row.
Yeah, but they got a 20.
I got 17 from them.
Here, I'm messaging you why I'm asking too.
No.
Oh wait, hold on, one more thing.
I'd say no.
Okay. So the two things that my thing can do will not apply here.
No,
I'm just
I don't think
curious.
so.
Okay. In that case, I'll just use my 2 attacks with my halberd to try to injure him. Oh, what shitty rolls. The first one is a dirty 20, and the
Okay, yeah,
second
that hits.
one is only an 8.
Yeah, that misses. So the 20 hits though.
So you know what? We'll just go all out, and I will.
Get him.
You can stack smites, can't you?
As in, like, in the same turn? That's what you mean? Like, one attack you can do one, and the next attack you can do one? Or...
Yeah, I mean specifically, like, my Divine Smite, yes, it costs a spell slot, but it's not, like, an action or anything, but my Branding Smite is, like, a bonus action, so I can do both at the same time, right? Or no?
I'd say no, because if you used to do that with actual spells, then it wouldn't necessarily be allowed, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. Okay, then, in that case, I will sacrifice a 2nd level spell slot to do my Divine
Sorry,
Smite.
you also have advantage on attacks against it.
Okay,
because
so
it's restrained.
Let me re-roll my other attack then.
May as well re-roll your first one, see if you get a crit.
It might hit. It's a 16.
16 misses.
Ah, okay. So let me see how many dice I'm rolling.
This guy was ready to fight, is what you can tell.
Okay, good to know.
As to why though?
He didn't like that I won.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's a big fan. He just was under the weather tonight.
Okay, so that is 18 damage.
18. Okay, now he's looking bloodied.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Or actually, all my friends are still looking a little bit ouchy, right?
A little bit ouchy.
A wee bit.
Not the worst.
Okay. Well, just to be safe. Oh, wait, no. Are you guys lower than half of your HP right now? Yes?
No.
No? No, it's not worth it to do, so never mind.
Actually,
Sorry.
I think
Sorry,
by
Mo.
1 point I am.
Oh, you are? Okay.
1
As long
point.
as you're lower than half, I can do it. Yeah, why not? I'll channel divinity turn the tide to give you guys some extra HP.
Nice.
I think we've got this pretty well in hand, but I'll accept it.
Listen, better safe than sorry. So Mo, you get 5, and Boone, you only get 3. I'm so sorry.
It's something.
Alright, that's the end of my go for real this time.
For real this time? Are you sure for
I
real?
promise. God's honor.
Okay. Kaio, what's up?
I want to
ride your bicycle.
Cast sleep on him.
Sleep.
Sleepy.
And it's based on the amount of HP he has currently, not his max, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So some of us are injured, so it might hit us before it hits him if his HP is higher than us.
Yeah.
Unless you can ignore creatures, I don't know if you can with sleep.
I think if you're only targeting certain creatures, I think it, like, do you know what I mean?
I thought it was just
yeah.
You can target.
Okay, cool.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
It would be hilarious if you just put us to sleep, though.
Sorry, guys. That's 5d8. I'm just gonna roll it on D&D Beyond.
Oh, that's a beefy attack.
Oh, 5d8?
Did you roll all ones?
14!
Oh. He is not asleep, bestie.
Ones in there, yeah.
Ouchie.
That's my turn.
Oh, buddy.
Alright,
it's his
let's
turn,
see
right?
what this guy's gonna do.
If it's his turn, he takes a d6 of damage from the thorny vines.
Yeah.
He takes 5 damage.
5 damage, okay.
And while he's restrained, he has disadvantage on any attacks against anyone else. Or he can use his action to try and
Get
break
him to attack me if he's going to attack.
Okay. What's his DC to Civ?
Same as before. It's 14 strength.
14. That's a natural 18. So it
Okay.
gets out. That was his action though, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me just double check something.
Yeah. The creature can use its action to make a strength save.
Action surge is an action, right? That he can. And
Action
you-
surge
No,
isn't an
it's just
action.
an
It's just
extra
something
action.
you can do.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
like, it gives you another action.
It gives you another
Yes.
action, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's gonna action surge.
Could I try to get him to attack me?
By doing what? I'm gonna
Very
say
good.
no for the sake of one thing that I cannot disclose.
Disclose it.
So this man
Tell
brings
us.
up his sword above his head, and it looks like he's about to slam down on Arnie, but instead he literally runs across the room with it, like charges almost, like 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he's gonna swing at the people though.
No.
So
Wait, do they
Opportunity
get
attack?
attacks of opportunity?
yes, but at disadvantage.
Why?
So
At disadvantage.
Yep.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm gonna take it.
I mean, yeah, I'll.
it's a certain thing,
Unless I
okay?
can.
Yeah, no,
I've-
we believe you. It's
No.
just you're trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
I'm
I
not
have so
gonna
many
hit
weird
at all.
Okay, yeah, no. Then there's no point in me.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a 15, so.
I don't think I have any reactions.
15 misses.
Yes, I know that. 'cause
What did you get, Cam?
Oh, my lowest was a 9. It's not gonna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just check something real quick. Okay, let me roll on these civilians. Okay, another one dead. Yeah, okay. There's 2 of them that died.
God.
That have
Hey,
just
no
been
holding back, I take it.
slashed literally in one
Yeah, no
swing,
holding
just
back.
through the torso. Clean.
Ah,
And at this point,
Jeez.
people are panicking.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, this is a fighting place, but normally people don't die. And yeah, that's his go. A little guy's go. Oh.
Huh.
Yeah, it's your turn, Boone.
Well, gang, things aren't looking great. Does
What
this
is this
reek
place
of
called?
anything I'm familiar of?
Make a history check.
All right.
It's gonna be a very high DC.
Okay. Yeah. It's gonna be 13 plus 5, 18.
You don't know what it is, but there's just something about it that just... It's like... You feel like you know, but you don't. You know, it's like that
Okay.
weird feeling.
Gotcha.
You can't really place it.
I
Well,
have theories.
And
About my theories.
maybe-
I'm zero.
accumulating.
Note this as well. Like, even if you would be able to place it, you would have very little information still.
yeah, yeah. Okay. I will do Hunter's Mark, just in case we need to track it.
Okay.
And then I will,
And these people are starting to, like...
yeah,
Run.
run. Hope I would hope. 5, 10.
You guys are kind of in the way of one of the stairs,
15.
but, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, boom, move out of the way. Gives us a little
Yeah.
funnel.
15, 20, 25. We'll move back. 30. That'll be my movement. And take 2 shots with the bow of crosses.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not gonna do it. That's gonna be a 12.
Yeah, no, Mrs.
Oh, that should do it. That's gonna be a 26.
Yeah, that hits.
Damn.
And those were with my longbow since I'm further away.
Mhm. That makes sense.
Wow, that's a 1, on that die. So that's
Wonderful.
1 plus 4, 5 plus a d6 for Hunter's Mark.
Make sure.
Wow.
It's like a.
Oh, that's only 7 damage. Yikes.
Hey, something.
Yeah, sure.
That
Uh,
your go, or you got anything else,
I
Wonder?
yeah, no, that's my bonus action.
Okay, Mo, you're up.
Okay, I can just make it to him.
You should.
Yeah.
I think you should be able to, because you was only 5 feet from him anyway, and he moved further than you.
Yeah. And I'm going to hit him. I'm going to hit him.
You are
Fast.
You are.
going.
I'm going to hit him. That's a 4.
Misses.
Come on. It's a 4.
Oh no.
Oh no!
You just got some more
Crying.
people killed.
I'm crying for you.
At the end of your go.
Yeah.
Okay. Kaya, Ani. Whoever's first, you're up.
Hi, Arnie. Carney.
Connie.
Carney. Kai, you want to go? Or you want me to go?
I can go, or
It doesn't
It's
matter
whatever.
to me.
I'll go.
Okay.
Fuck it. I'm going to cast Scorching Ray. Well, 5,
Okay.
10. I'm gonna get right to the edge of the arena, cast
Mhm.
Scorching Ray. And that's
So you
Okay,
need to roll
3.
3. Yeah.
That's a natural 20
Okay. Nice.
Ooh.
on one of them. The other one is a 13, which I believe misses, and the other one's a dirty 20.
Yeah, so the nat and the dirty 20 both hit.
Okay, so the dirty 20, that is 11 points of fire
Okay.
damage. The other one, the natural 20, is 12 points of fire damage.
Okay. He's looking pretty hot.
And I'm gonna step back behind Arnie.
Ani, it is your go.
Okay, I'm gonna use my movement and I'll be able to just get right here. I'm going to gonna bonus action compel duel just in case I can't kill him
Okay.
in this round. So he needs to make a DC 13 wisdom save.
That's a natural 19.
Boo. Okay. Then I'll take both my attack. High numbers. High. Oh, my dice fell off the table. Reroll. Okay.
You got this, I
The
believe.
brain math moment. A 24 and a 17.
17 misses, 24 hits.
Okay. Yeah, I still have spell slots left, so you know what? I'll whack another divine smite on
Good for
there.
bestie.
Okay, so that is 5 plus let me roll my divine smite. I will just do first level. So that is 13 points of damage.
Nice. He is still up.
Okay.
He,
I don't
like,
think this.
he's swaying a little bit, you know? Like,
Mhm.
that
Good.
does take into his go.
Hey, you should attack me.
Okay. Who's made him the most angry? That's the question.
Me.
Me. I'm the
Me?
one who
No,
blocked him. No, I
no.
blocked him.
And
in the
I'm
first
trying to think
place.
of his purpose and his, like, whole, like, his
Snared
back,
him.
his
Mission,
life story,
like-
you know?
He's,
Like back when he was a child.
He's gonna attack Mo.
No, not the queen. My queen.
That's a natural 20.
That hits.
My queen.
But hellish rebuke.
Can I
Oh,
use
wait,
my
oh,
chronal
okay.
shift?
Wait,
He
On
does
that
hit you
also,
fast, though. Chronal shift, okay.
wait,
Go on.
wait.
Go on.
Uh,
Go on.
I'm trying to find it.
Everyone wants
Hold
to
on.
do something and I just want to hit Mo.
Protection. I'll use my reaction to do protection, so disadvantage.
Oh, then I'll save my chronal shift if
Okay, well, at disadvantage, I
protecting.
rolled a natural 19, and that still counts
Okay.
as a critical on this guy.
Nice.
My God,
Chrono
this guy
shifts.
needs to die.
I
Yeah.
need him to make
So,
a.
You'll have
I'll
to
use a
re-roll at
different-
disadvantage again, because it's just re-rolling fully.
Okay. Your AC's 14, right?
Yeah.
Roll at 16.
Okay.
Better than the
Um,
crit.
Rather crit. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Believe it or
Gang.
not, a 16
Yeah, you
actually
guys-
crits for this guy. No.
Okay. Did I roll the right dice there? I did. That's 8 points of slashing damage.
Okay. I need to make a DC 14 dex save.
14 dex of.
Pretty well in the saves.
15. He does get advantage on dex saves, so.
Boo.
Hmm.
Listen,
I'm gonna beat him
don't
this
blame me for making a stat block, guys. Jeez.
No, we're blaming you because you made it.
God.
Maybe he's meant to be OP. Who knows?
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe. Okay, and then he's gonna go for a... So does the Hellic Rebuke still hit even if you miss it? Like, does it do anything?
Yeah, does it
does he
have damage?
I have no idea.
It's a dex save. Most dex saves do half.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Half as much.
Okay, roll.
Oh
And
my
it's
God.
3d10.
Die, max rolls.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Math.
Come on, you got this, I believe.
15
Biggest-
half 7? Or 8. Well, I don't know what you do.
15 half
7.
is 7.
How many hit points do you have? How many hit points do you have?
You want to actually know how many hit points he has?
Yes.
5.
2. 1.
You
I
guys,
said 2. I said
I'm
2.
saying you guys are so terrible at putting people on 1 HP with me. Like, every single time.
That's a move. You know us.
Okay,
It's okay.
he's going to hit you again, by the way.
Oh my God.
That's another 19.
Oh, okay.
Mo is
Okay.
gonna die. How low are
I'm
you,
gonna die,
Mo?
but that's fine.
7.
As in, like, not 19. That's what I meant, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We figured.
We
We
know.
did the math.
We trust you. For now. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, we'd be done.
I drew a line by accident.
I believe 2 1s.
Plus 3. And why are I doing my maths right? That's
You do your math wrong,
19
so it's okay.
points of slashing
Oh,
damage.
yeah, definitely out.
Okay.
Oh, cheap.
And that's
Ouch.
how guys go.
She was too distracted with all the gossip around town. Oh, jeez, there's a
Oh
bug
my gosh,
on
we're
So-
getting our first
You're-
death saving throw.
You're down, right, Mo? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's my turn first. We'll see.
Yeah, spoons go fast.
I should be able to take him out here. As long as I don't fail
As long as
horribly.
you hit, and his AC is
5,
insanely
10,
high.
15, 20.
His AC's gotta be what, like 18, 19?
Okay,
I
first
was
attack.
doing the math. I think it's 18.
First attack with a long bow. That's 21 to
Good.
hit.
Okay.
Hits. So,
Alright.
I mean, he's 1 HP.
Yeah.
Spoon's night.
Man, I
Spell
think
that for
the
him.
longbow's like as tall as me, so I plant it in the ground, draw back, and fire it clean into the forehead
Amazing.
Mm.
as
he
he's
kinda
like going
just, like-
overhead for another strike.
He just falls back, into the stands. As this happens, he does spit out a little bit of the silvery stuff again. So everyone in 5 foot, Mo, you take a death save.
That's a fail.
Oh,
failed
just
death
one?
save.
No!
Just one,
Okay.
just one. But Annie, you
Better
need to
not
make
roll
a
in that one,
dexterity
I love the drama.
save.
Oh, 13.
13. What did I put the... One sec. What did I put DC? Oh, okay, yeah, that fell, so... You take
So much combat this
8
past
points
2
of
days.
acid damage.
Ouchie!
And before we go anywhere,
Ow.
Mo, roll a death save for me.
Oh my god, anything but that one.
I've been
Anything
rolling,
but
like-
that one.
Trash.
Oh.
4.
So you still
You're not
fail.
dead.
2 fails in. Okay,
Okay, are we out of initiative?
you are out of initiative. This guy is dead.
Okay, I'm just gonna give Mo... I'll give Mo 20 of my lay on hands.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
You.
20 HP.
Boone is going to investigate the body.
Okay.
Man, what was that guy's issue?
Make an investigation check for me.
All right. Ooh, that's pretty solid. That's going to be 23.
23. Okay. So on his person, that is a few silver coins, just like maybe 5.
Sorry about those.
Obviously he's wearing a chain shirt.
Okay.
He has his long sword. He also has a bow on his back as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, nothing else seems to be on him. Apart from those things.
More interested in him himself, like
Him
what,
himself.
like him,
Okay.
what was weird about him?
You would probably be able to gain from like having a proper look that yes, he was on some kind of like substance maybe of sorts. There's like a little bit of the silvery stuff like maybe by his mouth after like coughing some of it up. And it's kind of like a thick like liquid. Kind of looks a little bit, do you know, like a thicker version of like liquid is it mercury?
Yeah.
Oh,
Almost like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can Boone try to collect some in like a vial or something?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
Does it
Um,
seem natural, or like is it something he
It
kept in his
looks.
mouth?
It looks like. It doesn't seem like it's something that just naturally occurred by any means. It looks like something
Oh, okay,
that
okay.
either was like maybe
Was
manufactured or
aided.
something. Like yeah,
Okay.
it was brewed.
Some people who can take a look at
Hey,
this.
I'm no longer upside down.
Ooh, one more thing. Just his chain shirt, his sword. Do any of them have any markings that would lead to a specific smith? See if we can follow a trail of any kind.
Mm.
I'd say no.
Yeah, that was worth a shot.
Yeah, sure. I mean, does he look familiar? Like,
How does he look
have
familiar
I
to any
seen
of
him
us?
Is he like a
around?
regular?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say Mo. You roll a history check.
What dice do I use? Because they've all been rolling a crap.
Use mine. I'll throw it
Yeah.
across
Virtual.
the
Yeah.
world.
Just no, because virtual
You're
also
ready?
for me.
Catch.
History. Oh, thanks. Oh, that's a 22.
I blessed you.
See?
I
It was
caught
the
your dice
power
and then rolled
of
it.
me and Cam together.
So
Cam, thanks for this dice.
with a 22, you might have seen him here once or twice before. Not a regular by any means.
Mhm.
And not even recently, just in the past, you might have seen him a couple of times. Didn't seem like a suspicious person at all. Didn't seem like a terrible person for what you could tell just from looking at him from what you remember.
Can I get Calster over?
Yeah, Callus is probably dealing with people upstairs.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and eventually he'd probably come downstairs to have a look at it himself.
This guy's been around. Do you know anything more about him? I've seen him, but nothing more.
He looks over the guy and kind of squints his eyes a little bit. I mean, what was he doing?
Nothing. I don't know why
Was-
he was here. We had to deal with him quicker than we could ask questions. He was
And
going for the guests, so
he caused this.
yeah.
And that kind of points to obviously the now deceased civilians.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time I remember him being here was like maybe a year and a bit ago. He seemed like an alright fella.
Yeah.
But I do think he was friends with Ronnie.
Oh, that fucker.
Ronnie.
I'll deal with him.
I mean, how can you deal with him if you don't know where he is?
That's fair. Provoke him. I can bring him out.
I bet you can. Alright. Well, I'm going to go and talk to some guards and I mean, you know.
I know you got a lot to deal with now, but before you run away, pull him to the side away from everyone.
Okay.
Any more information on what we talked about earlier? Any word through the crowd?
Not yet. All
Okay.
I've heard is what is everyone's talking about is that she's
Okay.
back.
Yeah, I get it.
Nobody
Thanks,
really knows, what happened yet, at
Yeah,
least.
I wish. Yeah. Okay.
Right. And then he heads back upstairs. Kind of like you could tell that he looks a little bit like ill, like
Yeah.
from this look.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably have a chat with the guards as well. You all right?
Fine. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine.
Your wrist. Okay.
Kaya, are you alright?
Yes, I'm good.
Wish it was a better night. I'm sorry, but hey, I can watch because Boone's the king.
There's still an excellent
Yeah.
fight. Both
Thanks.
fight very skillfully. Perhaps we can have some more friendly spars in the future.
Enjoy that.
So I guess Boone will head upstairs and talk to the guards because he probably knows some of them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Give him the lowdown.
Yeah, because of the location of the Underdome, you'd know that probably the guards that are like first part of call to come here are the ones from the north of the dim. But you probably like know an odd few from just around. And you recognize like out of the 5 that are there currently, one of them you definitely do recognize.
Yeah, I'll go chat them up, give them the lowdown, like from the first-hand experience. Pass along the vial.
Yeah, they take it and thank you with a nod and kind of like pocket it safely.
He'll just once that's done, he'll head back down, make sure everyone's still good.
Yeah. So, what's our plans now, guys?
Is there like someone around here that's like the gossip? Like you tell them something, they will spread it.
You'd probably be able to find a couple people. Like, even if they're not here right now, you might know a few people around who like maybe like lurk on the streets at night sometimes, chatting to people.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna put in their ear. Mo's looking for Johnny if he's still around.
Okay. I'm like, okay, got it. And then kind of just walk away.
Thanks.
But yeah, you have now let that gossip loose. We'll see where that goes eventually. Yeah, what are our plans now? Because obviously, eventually you'll be kicked out, at least from the downstairs. Maybe apart from Mo, because Mo, but you probably at least kicked upstairs.
I don't got a whole lot of room, but if anyone wants to stay for the night.
Oh, you're also welcome back in my shop.
Would I be able to also grab a vial?
I'd say no, because I'd say Boone got the most that was probably because there was only like a little bit that you could actually collect by
So butcher him.
So yeah.
I think Arnie, while I'm still downstairs, I think I'll just, in like a respectful way, try to like gather up the bodies and like cover them with some kind of something while they're here, so they're kind of preserved a little bit.
Just
Okay.
And just like close my eyes and like offer a quick, I don't want to say prayer, but like thought to the storm real quick. And then a question to you, I don't think we discussed this. Where do we think Arnie's been staying while I'm in Faerie?
I mean, it's up to you if you would be staying at a tavern, an inn, like specifically just an inn. You have a friend who you've met. I think it's genuinely up to you where you think you'd be staying. So
I think not like rich because I'm not rich, but like a decent inn.
Okay, like in
Probably.
the like lower pricey areas of the Dawn, kind
Yeah.
of. Yep.
So after Mo helps me, I'll just turn to Mo. Kaya probably already knows, and I think Boone is not here, so I'll just turn to Mo and say,
I joined. I came back
"Oh,
down.
okay, sorry, I thought you were still upstairs."
No.
Well, then I'll turn to you two and just say, I appreciate the offers of lodging, but I think I'll head back up to the Dawn.
For up there, that's fair. Do you need help getting there? At least getting through here.
I think I have it. Uh, but if you need to reach me, this is where I'm staying. And just like pass over the name of whatever inn I'm at.
Yeah, we'll sort that out before next session.
Yeah, no, we're good. I'll do my best to try to put some feelers out. This was definitely some strange happenings.
Yeah.
Let you know if the
And I
boys
mean,
get
hey,
back
if
to
you
me on
want
the.
to tell anyone I'm looking for Johnny, that'll be,
Oh,
I think, the best way to lure him
sure.
out.
Okay.
Does
I'll
Johnny have a
tell.
last name?
Steele, but I mean, he's Johnny. No one respects him enough for a last name.
I'll go and ask around.
I can spread the word. And then I'll walk out the front door, and every person I'll see, I'll be like, Mo is looking for Johnny all the way back up to the top.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan, definitely. Yeah. What about everyone else? What are you guys doing?
I mean, I've already been there twice today, but might go back and touch base with my peeps again. Shit just keeps happening.
I'd say at this time, maybe you want to try their home, just
Yeah.
because, you know, at least dinner shift was probably over by now.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to go there, you can. You know where they live.
Yeah,
Easy
yeah.
enough.
Like grab a bottle of wine or something on my way home.
Okay. Yeah, you knock on the door and they answer and like, Tarek's there and he's like, "Oh, you're right."
Covered in blood.
Yeah, he knows.
Silvery acid.
He's like, "You're right."
I'm alive.
Do you
I got some. Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about.
And he lets you in.
Yeah, I'll say I go over the night.
Mm-hmm.
Let him know about the silvery stuff I gave to the other guards. And to keep his ear out for this Johnny.
Right. You do know that he does know the name Johnny Steele if you actually mention that full name.
Yeah, I'll mention the full name. I don't know why I wouldn't.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, he's this rough-looking fella. Not really a good company to keep, really."
I can't imagine. Any idea where he shacked up?
I haven't heard much of him for a while, actually. So.
Apparently he was friends with the assailant.
Right. Listen, I know this might be a long shot, but have you thought about looking in the dark?
Last time I was down there, it didn't go very well.
I know, but hey.
I'll see what my new friends can do about it.
Okay.
Thanks. Enjoy the wine. I'm, head to the shop.
Alright. And he, like, leads you out and says goodbye.
Alrighty, that's me done. I'll just head home.
What about you, Kaya?
I will go to my dad's place.
And you can just let yourself in. You have a key, you know.
Yeah.
He's asleep on like a chair, like a comfy
Okay.
chair, like, you know, like the old dad chairs, like that recline, like.
Yeah.
What is
I
it,
just
Easy Boy or
wanna-
whatever?
Yeah, lazy boy, yeah.
I just want to pick up around his apartment, just make sure everything's put away, and like the library books that I left him last time, I want to take and give him the 2 books that I stole from the Sky Palace. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Okay.
Yeah, just like make sure everything's like tidied up for him, and I'll
Okay.
probably just like crash on the couch.
All right. Yeah, sounds like a plan. Mo, is there anything else you want to do before
Um,
sleeping?
Mel's gonna sit at her desk and write a letter, and she just folds it up and puts it in a desk drawer with other letters that she won't send.
Okay. Can you just message me to give me the vibe?
Mhm.
Just because I think I know
Yeah,
it, but just to confirm it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, all right. And yeah, the night comes and goes, without any issues. You'll get a nice little long rest,
Oh yeah.
sleepy time. Yeah. Is there anything that anyone wants to do in the morning as you all awake in your respective places?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Just because I've never played a full caster before.
Mm-hmm.
Wizards can switch out their prepared spells in their spellbook, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
every long
For
at
a long
rest
the
is
rest?
beginning of the
prepared.
day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then I'll be doing
before long
that while
rest.
you guys carry
Okay.
on.
I'm gonna try to convince Callister to take a break from the fights until I get Johnny out here, because I don't want it to be a big night if he returns.
Right. And he's like, yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
Yeah, it's best if he doesn't have an audience.
Yeah. Well, just let me know if you hear anything, because I'd probably want to speak to him myself
Yeah,
at this point.
it's a good plan.
Yeah.
I mean, Boone's a detective. He'd probably return to the scene of the crime, try to do some looking around.
Sounds about right. And Annie, you doing anything specific before we get on to back to the Underdome?
I think Arnie will just knock out like my morning training drills,
Yeah.
my morning cry,
Yeah,
The morning cry.
that'll be
you're
all.
scheduled. um, besides that, I mean, I might as well just shoot a shot in the dark. I think, irrelevant to the current situation, I just keep an ear out and hear if, like, through whatever contacts I've made in the city or just in general, if there's anything about a certain someone you know who
Yeah.
floating around.
Okay. Yeah, I do
Yeah,
know who.
Voldemort.
Roll a perception check for me.
Okay. See how well this goes. Let me actually see what my perception is. Okay, terrible. That is a 16.
16. You don't hear anything of the sorts.
Cool.
No name, no description that similar, you know.
Alright. So then I'll pencil my afternoon cry in early. Alright, that's all.
Okay. So back to the Underdome. Moon. I mean the door is locked, so hey, you do you, buddy. But
I'll try to pick it. Why not?
okay, roll your thieves tool. Do you have thieves tools? I can't remember if you said you did last session.
Proficiency with it, so I don't know why I wouldn't. So we'll say yes.
Okay.
So that's just Dex plus proficiency.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's plus 7. 14 plus 7, 21.
21. You unpick the lock and just the two double doors just open and you just you're probably like maybe
I'm like sitting at a table with a coffee.
and you just both these doors just open and you just see Moon, little rabbit guy, just strutting on in.
You could have knocked.
Thought no one was home.
This? This is my home. This is Cal's.
How
Like,
was I supposed to know you lived here?
you could have knocked to start instead of just breaking in.
I tend to work a little quieter than most.
We'll try to be quieter then, because I see you.
It was quiet. You were just sitting there.
Because I live here.
All right. Well, then I guess it's safe to say no one returned to the scene of the crime.
I was asleep, so no one I know of.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna do some poking about if that's all right.
Sure, and I'll follow. I'll like take him
Okay.
down.
And you would notice that the bodies had been like, taken, cleared up. Still a bit of a mess down here though from like the scramble of people trying to get out and stuff. But
I'll just faff about for a bit, looking for anything that might warrant a clue, like seeing if there's a trail of the silver stuff before where we first saw him, anything
okay,
like that.
make an investigation check.
Okay.
Are you checking also like elsewhere other than just the downstairs like fighting pit
Yeah,
or like
I'm checking to see entrances, like which entrance he might have come from.
so like upstairs and around the general vicinity of the building?
Yeah,
Kinda. Okay.
I'm basically casing the entire building if possible. I can
Mhm.
make multiple checks if you need, but this first
Mhm.
one is a 17 plus 8.
Yeah, I'm fine with just taking one check if you're fine
All right.
with
Yeah.
it. So
I mean, it's a
um
24, so I'll keep it if you will give it to me.
yeah. So
Or no, 25.
you don't see anything when you're first checking through the building. But when you go outside, there's kind of like an alleyway along the side. Um and after a little bit of looking around, like through the trash and everything, you find like an empty vial. Uh Unlabeled. It has like a label on it, but it has nothing on the label itself. It is open, but it's empty. And there is a slight bit of residue that you notice to be similar to uh what this liquid was. And from the vicinity of where this is to like the front entrance, you could assume he probably just came through the front entrance after, you know, he drank whatever this is. Um,
I'm gonna take a whiff.
take a
See.
Oh.
whiff. Okay,
Yeah.
make a constitution check for me.
Check
I
or save.
okay.
Save, sorry. Save.
Doesn't matter.
Get
It's
a
the
mix
same.
up.
It's 5-0. That's going to be a 9.
9. It's strong. And it makes you throw up a little bit in your mouth.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Okay.
Oh, now I know what he smells like. In
Oh,
case I come across it again.
And your
okay.
eyes kind of water a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I'm like trying to look all cool, but I'm like, it's part of the
Maybe
investigation.
maybe we should take this stuff to Sky Dude. I feel like he might know more.
Uh, maybe. But we haven't been contacted again, and I don't exactly know how to get back into the sky.
Well, why don't we just go to where that wall was? I feel like
Something tells me he didn't show us the secret entrance to his sky base on the first meeting.
it couldn't hurt. Maybe if we just knock on the wall enough, they'll come. Knock on
Well,
it like a regular human being.
I figured you might be more interested in this other tidbit I got. I asked
What
a
did you get?
contact of mine and said we might go sniffing around the dark for your Johnny.
Oh God, I hate going down there.
Me and you both, but it's the only lead we've got on this, and I don't exactly know where you might get an illicit substance such as this.
That's fair. I'd rather him come to my turf, though. I don't know what he has ready down there.
Well, from the sounds of it, he's a bit of a weasel. Can't imagine
Yeah,
he's going to come sniffing.
well, if you make. I embarrassed him pretty hard last time I saw him. Maybe he wants a rematch.
Hmm. I mean, if we don't want to go to the dark, you could make a bit of a rumor, bit of a call out. Say that Johnny's too scared to come fight the Queen.
That's not bad. Spread
I'm
that one
just saying.
around.
Especially if we dip our toe in the dark and start spreading around there. Your reputation matters down there.
Oh, yes. Let's. I got nothing better to Tuesday.
You want to wait for the other two? Find out where they're at? Oh,
I
so
guess we could bring them.
we know the
Show them
tavern
the
one.
seedier sides.
That's assuming they want to go. But yeah, you lead the way. And he'll just pocket the vial.
I'll go to where Arnie's staying.
Okay. Annie, would you have returned after your
Yeah, my
training?
early. Yeah.
For your like scheduled cry? You
Yeah,
go
my
back to
schedule
your
check.
okay
Can I roll a deception check?
to play it off like you haven't been crying.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, roll that as you open the door. Well, as
Mascara is
you
actually just
knock.
drained.
That's a big 10.
Okay. Take that how you will, guys. You knock on the door, and I'm assuming Annie
The
eventually
Big
opens.
10.
The hugest 10 you can imagine.
Big boy 10.
Shit.
Yeah.
Good to see you two. What can I do for you? Did you find anything else out?
I do some hunting. Do you want to come? Not literally. Like, we're gonna go spread some word around the dark. That might get him
Oh.
out quicker.
I haven't yet had a chance to visit the dark. Sure, why not?
Glad we can show you around. Want to grab Kaya? I don't know where
Oh,
he'd
yes.
be.
We can stop by his library. He's likely there.
His
that would be the
library?
first
Like, he owns it?
You know what? I don't know if I ever asked Kaya that. I know he's
Yeah.
at least there a lot, so maybe he does own.
Hmm.
He does seem like the type.
Yeah.
Hi, what have you been doing during this time then?
I feel like I probably woke up before my dad did. So
Mhm.
quick, make him breakfast, leave it on the table, write it in a little note like "see you in another week," and then I want to go to the academy
Okay.
and find my good
God.
friend Professor Goodrow.
Yeah. Okay. And you'd probably find him in his office. Where you'd normally
I
find him
just
at a time of this.
I just want to talk to him, and I want to debrief him just on like how my research has been going, like my independent studies. And then I want to ask him if he has heard anything about Alteris or what he knows about that.
Oh, I mean, Il Terrace was a very powerful mage. I mean, I'm sure you've read some of her work before.
Do you know which school she focused in?
Oh, let me quickly check because I actually do have this noted down.
I've prepared DM.
Yeah, I know. I'm so prepared for once in my life. Would you believe it?
I can see the wheels turning in Aaron's head.
Was?
Yeah, I was noting that too.
Yeah.
What?
Was a power.
You
You
said
said
was
was a
powerful.
powerful mage.
Um,
She's dead.
Yeah, we can't intervene.
so Altaris focused on a lot of transmutation. But she dabbled in many places, so.
Okay, and I was back in the gym last night, and this weird guy was coughing up this silvery substance, possibly acidic. I never got to touch it myself, but do you know any like maybe liquid metal, anything that could be like that?
Liquid metal, no. I have not much of a clue. I mean, it's
Okay.
not. I don't go down to the dim often either, so.
Can you just keep your eye out? Maybe if you can find any books on it, that would be great as well. I'll also look in the library.
I mean, if I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Perfect. Do you need anything done real quick while I'm here? Or
No, I'm pretty okay. Thank you for coming by though, Kaya.
of course, let me know if you need anything.
Of course.
I will leave there, probably stop by my place, and then go to the library.
I will say that as you are like walking like in on the campus, you bump into a familiar face. I think you might know who I'm on about. Let me get this up really quick. You bump into Connie.
Okay.
And like he seems a little bit like busy and he's rushing about a little bit, but he kind of stops when you kind of bump into you. He's like, oh, oh, Kaya, hi. Um,
Hey,
how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm very late to my class, but Hey.
It's okay. Time is just a number. Um, I was in the Underdome last night, and I saw this really weird guy who was like coughing up acid, and
Why
it'd be
would
really cool
you
if you were there too.
why are you in the Underdome? That doesn't seem like a place that you would go.
No, I met someone last night, and she invited
Wait, you
me.
you
So
met someone?
not like met someone, but uh, a coworker of sorts, and they fight in the
Who
Underdome. So
are
I thought I would
you?
check it out because we've never been there.
Someone who works at the library with you?
No, another job. It's I- so there's actually this palace up in the sky that me and these people went to, and they have. I gave the books to my dad. Maybe you could ask him to borrow them, but they had some books up there that I haven't found yet. But no, it was good. They they might offer some more magic information. So if you want me to find any abjuration magic for you, I could look out.
You sound quite literally insane.
What's new? How have you been?
Same as always.
I You should check out the Underdome sometime with me.
I mean,
Whenever you
if
get
if
breaks.
I have time, just you know where I am. So
Of
okay.
course.
Well, I need to go. I'll see you around.
Good luck.
Just nods and rushes off to his class, and then you go to your library after popping home. To which I'm assuming Annie leads the rest of you to the library.
Yes, I will
Yeah.
navigate to the library.
Yeah. You lead, and the library's very pretty. Very. Um. It seems like it's a lot older than a lot of the buildings surrounding it, but it's more beautiful than any of them. Yeah, you can head inside, and quickly make your way to where Kai would be, probably at like a desk near the front.
Reference desk.
Ty,
I'll
do
just
you own this place?
What?
Wait, Arnie made it seem like you own this place.
Oh
Okay,
no,
I
I
didn't
don't.
say that.
Well,
I just work here.
they said it was your library, so I
I
thought this
feel
was your
like with how much
library.
I work here, it is.
Wow,
Exactly.
fair. Yeah.
Look, when I first got to the city, I saw Kaya here almost every day.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
So, can anyone check out a book?
I mean, it is a little bit of a process, but yes.
I just finished this book, and I was wondering if you have the sequel.
Oh, which book was it?
I'm blanking on the name, but it's
Nope.
a fantasy.
You gotta
It's
do it.
about
Okay, it's a
this.
fantasy.
It's about this girl in high school in a world unlike ours. But
Okay.
then a vampire comes, but then a werewolf comes, and then they're fighting over her. It's so juicy, and there's a sequel apparently, and I'm just wondering.
No, there's like 4 books, right?
Full book.
Really good
There's a
series.
few of them.
You should.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh! I thought there was only 2. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, they're right over here.
Thanks.
Yeah, they also just released a new one from the vampire's perspective.
I haven't got to that
Interesting.
one
I don't
yet.
think we have that one here.
No, no spoilers. No spoilers.
Oh, okay.
I think you'll enjoy it, and I'll help mow through the process of checking out a book.
Okay.
I'll bring this back eventually.
If you is it there's a library down in the dim. If you just give it to them, we have like this exchange thing, they'll just give it back up to us.
Interesting. Okay.
While they're
I'll
distracted,
look
can
for it.
Boone look for a book on like alchemical concoctions that would be similar to the one he found?
Make a investigation check.
16 plus 8 makes that 24.
Okay. You find many, like a few books that are on it. If you flick through it, you don't see anything that looks specific to what you're looking for, but there might be something that could help.
Yeah, can I instead look for something that would counter the acidic effect?
Hmm. Again, I think there's nothing specific to this situation, but there could be stuff in said books that could help you figure it out, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'll make notes of the books I found most helpful and just return if I need them.
Okay.
Oh, can you leave work now? Are you like off?
Uh,
How's your work?
yeah.
When it's weird.
I should be able to. Someone else is here too. I'll just go let them know what's up.
We're going to the dark to provoke Johnny a bit more. It'll be fun.
We're going to the dock.
Yeah.
I haven't been yet. Should be exciting, right?
Growing up, I was told to keep away from there.
Well, you're grown
Only
now.
heard bad things.
Yeah, but you saw me and Mo in the pits. You know you'll be
You
right
won't go
protected.
too far in, just enough to.
I can protect you too.
Yeah.
If you're scared, you can admit it. We won't judge.
Well, I am a little scared just because I've heard really bad things, but I guess you do need your brains with you. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. That was a joke. You guys are very smart, very good in
You
battle.
said it
You
twice,
solved
so
that
you
puzzle
mean it's the
great.
truth.
What?
When you say it twice, it counteracts. So you mean you're the brains?
It doesn't mean you don't have brains.
Well,
I think you all are
somebody.
smart and talented, and I'll join you. Just can we be careful?
Of course.
Always.
Okay, let's go.
As we're going, I want to keep my ears peeled, and I
Oh,
also have
that
my
sounds
head
horrible.
up here.
Okay. What's your passive perception? Because then, if
It's a
it's
12.
yeah, I feel like from that you'd be able to hear that people are talking, about how like the king is going to address people tomorrow about stuff that has been happening. Yeah, just general gossip about things you don't care about that much.
I'll say I'm listening all the way till we
Mhm.
get to the dark.
Once we
Yeah.
get
Just
down
see
to the dark,
if
Boone will have everyone huddle a little closer, and he'll put Pass Without Trace on us. Not for like a
Yeah.
mechanical reason, but just to like keep our heads down, make sure no one pays us any mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will
That's fine.
also, how do I guess I'll turn to, Mo and Boone and also Kaya. From where we are right now, approximately how long would it take us to get to the dark?
Oh, I was saving my spell for when we got to the dark.
Oh, okay. When you get well, then if that's the case, then also when we get to the dark, I'll cast aid on all three of you, so your maximum HP in current HP increases by 5 for 8 hours. So
Nice.
That's something.
That's nice.
can't give it to myself, but you know what? It's okay.
Well,
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
that's
like,
it.
I mean, obviously, those of you who have been in the dark before, it's not a nice place to be. It just feels
I was saying
gross
if
to be down
Arnie
here
will let me,
sometimes.
I'm going to hold on to Arnie's hand just to make
Of
sure they
course.
are there.
They
I
don't
don't want to
wander
lose
off.
them down here.
Okay. Yeah. People aren't necessarily looking at you, but they're more just like if they are looking at you, it's more because they're trying to hide what they're doing rather than looking at you, seeing what you're doing.
Mhm.
Like looking over his shoulder kind of thing.
Yeah, almost like that. Just to make sure that nobody's like watching them. Everyone's kind of like that down here. A little bit shifty, a little bit, you know. It's a lot
And
quiet. The streets are a lot quieter as well down here than they are in the dim
Is,
or in the dawn.
is there anyone I
Or
I
recognize
cast.
just right there? Oh, you go.
Can I check?
Oh,
you may have to repeat that cast and you liked.
Sorry. Can I cast Detect Magic?
Yeah.
Just to get a feel of like what the arcane situation is down here.
I mean, how long does it last for?
10 minutes.
Yeah, nothing like if you're just walking down average streets, like if you're not in a specific place, nothing really pings up. Maybe some people might have like some kind of like arcane thing on them, but everyone kind of does in the sea. You know what I mean? Like So, yeah, I will say as you're doing that, um, there is, unlike, for example, in the Dawn, where there's kind of like almost like an aura of just arcane energy up there. It's kind of very limited down here.
Okay.
So yeah, do I recognize anyone around? Maybe start there with getting the word around.
You might recognize an odd few people who might also recognize you, but again, they're just maybe not no one who you're necessarily like friends with.
Yeah.
Maybe people who have just come up to the Underdome just for a night or
Mhm.
something like that. Like, so they'd probably recognize you more than you them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mo, if you don't have an idea where to start, I might have a suggestion.
Go for it.
Best way to throw down the gauntlet is a tavern crawl.
Drinking games are in order.
I would say so. At the very
Yeah.
least, it's where people gather. You can throw down your challenge at each one. One will eventually reach Johnny.
Let's go for it.
Are we sure this is a good idea?
Oh, it always is.
Considering
Come on, let's have some fun.
No, we said you had a drink, mate.
You're
uh
DW.
Stay sober. Might be spotted.
okay. Okay.
Okay. So are you just looking for the closest tavern, or like? I mean, the closest one is called the Whippet.
A whip it.
No. Yeah. And it's quite quiet. I mean, it is like still early on in the day. It seems like it's a very depressing place, if I'm gonna be quite honest. Like, you go in, there's like just an old man in the corner with like a giant like well, what are the big
Tankard.
tankard, there we go. Just tankard of some kind of alcohol. There's like one person behind the bar who's just like slumped, elbow on the bar, face
Um,
in palm.
I'll go up to the person at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the name Johnny Steele by any chance?
Johnny Steele. I mean, yeah.
I will very sneakily slip them a gold because I don't want people noticing me.
The
Could you
one man
just?
in the corner.
Yeah, well, I guess yeah. I am looking for that coward. I'd like a rematch. Tell him to find me in the Underdome. Or tell someone who can get to him, please.
I mean, if I see someone, sure. And she just takes it. She
Thanks.
seems so miserable just to be here. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
wait,
Well-
are you doing this at like just multiple other taverns?
Yeah.
Like, at some point,
Okay.
Boone will like pull out some parchment, start making like little posters.
Looking for Johnny.
Looking for Johnny.
The
That's
Queen of the Underdome calls
slimy.
out Johnny,
Are you
the
just like
the coward.
I say
placing
I
these in
would.
the street, or like
I was
what's
like hanging them up on bars that we pass because
okay?
like I assume most of them have some sort of board.
Okay.
I would drop 5 gold doing this. Just
Okay.
going around.
Roll a general charisma check for me.
Okay. What dice do I roll? This one. 19.
19.
Damn.
You get the general feeling that like most people are willing to do this for you, like with the money that you're giving them. Some people are a little bit. I mean, they seem like they're not bothered enough, but there is a couple more that are a little bit more enthusiastic and like, ah, you want to fight Johnny? Okay, well, good luck and
Good luck.
yeah. Eventually, you spend 5 gold in these taverns. And these little posters that you're putting up. Sometimes they instantly get ripped down. Other times they stay there. You know.
He like just quickly scroll them anytime they make a stop while Mo is making conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we've spent enough time
And
down here.
Like while we were down there, can I just like keep my eyes out for like just to like make sure we aren't being followed? Any like people who stick around too long, like they're listening in.
Mm-hmm. I think because of the like measures that you guys have taken, right now it doesn't seem like anyone's kind of keeping an eye on you or anything. If anything, more than anything, they're looking at you because you look like you don't really belong here. But it's not like we're following you because we want
Gonna
something
rob
from you.
you.
We're suspicious of you. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you just get a weird look every so often.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you doing anything else while you're in the dark, or is this your only plan?
I mean,
Oh, go on.
no, I was just gonna say, who knows when we'll be back, so get any business you have done now.
You know if
I
there's a
know.
library down here
Not a business.
It might
I
be.
or any spell
Probably worth
shops, I would
visiting.
love.
Yeah, some
don't know if you
shops
want
that
to shop down. Oh,
actually. Can I look
Would
for
be
an
interesting.
apothecary or somewhere of ill repute where one might find questionable substance?
Make an investigation
true.
check.
Can I help them?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, hey, it's either you help me or I help you, and I know your investigation's better.
I get automatic advantage on it, so
Okay,
I
well, good.
I'd say Boone just because you wanted to originally
That's
do it
fair.
anyway. So
You're the detective here, Moon.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not great. That's gonna be an 18. 10 plus 8.
19.
That's not great.
Oh, considering
um,
advantage, rolling a 10 ain't great.
Fair.
there's at least places that are like labeled as apothecary type places. There's not many of them down here, and most of them are closed right now. So, well, actually, all of them that you can find are closed right now.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Any people doing deals in back alleys?
I mean, I was literally gonna say, like, you'd probably get the gist that something like this would probably be like someone would use an abandoned building to kind of like, do this kind of shit. Um,
Um,
yeah, go on.
I perhaps have a suggestion. Maybe not my smartest moment, but I think it's fair to say that, that among all of you, I probably look the most out of place down here. What if we use me as bait to see if there's any kind
Uh,
of back alley
I,
deals going on?
I
I don't know if I
don't.
like the sound of
But
that.
yeah,
I could send Piero to go look.
It's
since
true.
you're an old building, I feel safer doing that than putting you in there.
Oh, if Piero can't find anything, then
Then
will
I will
say,
think of something else.
as you're having this conversation, there is someone approaching you guys. And not like in a I'm being sneaky kind of way, like someone's directly approaching you.
What do they look like?
So it's not Johnny.
okay.
Is it
But
someone
you do
else?
recognize this person. Maybe once or twice you've seen them.
Oh, okay.
They're a dragonborn. But they're a lot like scrawnier. Same scales as Johnny. You know this to be Johnny's brother, younger brother.
Oh,
Yeah,
funny.
and he's coming for you, Mo. He's not like coming for you as in like he's gonna attack you, but he's walking up to you
Yeah.
and instantly just goes, "Hey, just leave Johnny out of this. I don't know what you want, but like
I
just."
just got some questions for him.
I mean, I don't know what kind of questions you want, but you gotta leave Johnny out of this. And I'm literally, you just need to leave because, like,
Wrong.
I'm sorry, I'm
You
not
what?
talking to you. I'm talking to Mer.
You come find
So
me when. That's all I,
I don't.
ask.
He's
I
he's
just
not
want to
going
talk.
anywhere. So like, just leave him
Come on.
alone. He's not gonna come talk to you.
Oh, come on.
You're really irritating. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
He's not coming. I'm telling you this now.
Friend.
I'm
Tell
not
you
your
what.
friend.
Boone, pass me the vial.
Alright.
Do,
Pass.
do you not
Oh,
have the vial? You gave it to the
Oh, you
guard.
gave it to the guards.
No, I have the empty vial
Oh, the
that
Yeah,
has a
empty
bit of.
vial.
Oh.
Right,
with
okay.
the bits left. Recognize anything with this? That's all I want to know.
What is it? The vial?
I don't. Yeah, there's.
Insight check.
Of what? Okay, roll an insight.
I like that.
Now roll.
I was too busy messing with him to think of that.
25.
Nice.
Know something.
Okay. Well, I don't know that.
Like, you can tell that, he's
Yeah.
like, he doesn't know exactly what this is that you're showing him,
Mhm.
but, like, he's almost trying to piece things together in his head because he might know something, right?
I will.
Oh.
Arnie, how stupid should I be?
Why? Because I.
Yes or no?
No, don't be stupid.
What are your friends
Let me-
whispering about?
Oh,
Who are you?
All
You
I
don't-
know
you
is
don't look like you're from down here. Why are you bringing
Oh,
like rich
I
people
will-
down here?
I
want to walk past Mo and put a hand up.
Oh.
No, so actually, we are from the Dawn, and
Kaya.
we-
Kaya.
I'm gonna grab
Told you
this
not-
vial.
Kaya.
No, we got our hands on a little bit of this, and we were wondering where we could get some more. We know some people who are willing to pay some good money for this, and it doesn't have to be through you. But if we could get
Right.
connection somewhere, just so we can put a little gold in your hands and then a little bit fun in ours.
Who I still don't know what this is. And you can tell like it's slowly piecing up for him now and he's like, okay, maybe it's this thing.
Okay, so I hired these two to bring me down here, but like,
Why would you
I don't know.
hire
I don't know how to do a drug
Why would
deal.
you hire Rabbit and Mo?
They were the first people I saw. I'm trying to like play like ignorant rich person.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst place to do that.
Listen,
So I was
Well,
wondering,
I can't help you.
do
I'm
you know
can.
someone who could?
You can.
no.
Johnny
Can I
can.
cast Zone of Truth?
Yeah, sure. Or I
DC
do everyone
13
who's in it
I
would
mean,
have to
it's
also
a
make it.
it's
right?
a 15-foot sphere, so it's gonna get all of us.
Yeah. What did you
I'm
say
so
was
sorry,
DC
bestie.
13 what?
Charisma save.
He fills it.
So I gotta make one too.
Boone
Well,
failed.
do I?
I
If
fail.
I'm
Yeah, if you're in the
Oh,
circle, I
I-
believe so.
Fail.
I passed. That's a 17 plus 5, so way higher than what I need. So everybody
Yeah.
failed except for me.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Oh, that's fine.
I
I would love
believe-
to know where this
well,
is from.
for you guys, just so you know, the exact wording of the spell is that you're aware of it, so you can avoid answering questions that you would normally lie about,
we
but you
can.
can't. As you have to remain
Can't
within
lie about
boundaries of truth.
So
yeah.
instead of saying I don't know what this is, you're like I'm not going to tell you what this is. Like
Well, so yeah,
That
it can
kind
be
of thing.
evasive as long as you
Mhm.
respond to the truth. So yeah, if I'm straight up like, "Hey, I know you're lying about this," you can be like, "Oh, like I'm not
well,
gonna
I'm not
answer
going to tell
that."
you the
yeah.
truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, all I know is the person who had this knows Johnny. That's
Yeah, just because they know Johnny doesn't necessarily mean they got it from Johnny.
not what I'm looking for.
Who's Johnny?
Johnny's my brother. I mean, I thought.
Oh, do you know where I can get some more of this?
No, not really.
Listen, if you tell us who we can
Not
ask
really.
about it, we don't have to see Johnny at all. Johnny's just the only point of contact we have at the moment.
Mhm.
Listen, I don't know where this comes from. I just listen.
Charm person.
Oh. Oh.
So you're gonna make him tell the truth and charm person? Okay.
Yeah, so he can really tell us the
I
truth.
mean, hey, you might as well cast it all out
Natural
on the
20.
floor.
Chronal shift.
Oh, you bitch.
There's so much happening.
18.
Yeah, pass.
And he knows that you just tried to charm him too.
I could care
He
Listen.
less.
knows.
Mo, you need to just leave.
Fine.
You do know that, like,
No, people know
you
who I am.
can.
Yeah.
I'm looking out for you here. I'm being a
Hey.
good person.
Look,
If you
just,
leave now, you won't get like attacked by some random person on the street.
you can't
That's-
give us anything at all.
I do kind of like that.
I mean, you can tell like he wants to lie so badly.
We won't say your name to anyone.
We just need
Stubborn
any
lot.
information. We don't have to go after Johnny.
I mean,
anything.
right, I know its name. Does that help?
Yes.
Oh, they call it Fresk. That's all I know.
Thank you. We'll be of your hair.
Yeah, you better be. And you better leave us alone because you're annoying as fuck. Thank you.
I'd love to fight Johnny again, though. So maybe
Well,
one
he
day.
does not want to fight you, so
Okay.
he's better than
And
that. Okay.
I'll walk away, dragging Kaya and Arnie behind me.
I thought that was a
And
really good
you just
idea.
hear him under his breath as he's walking. Fucking rich people. Like,
Was that not a good idea?
You could have
Not
gotten hurt. It
yeah.
was-
Flaunting your wealth down here doesn't help.
I'm not even that rich.
But
doesn't
you made it
matter.
seem like it.
That was the point. Don't they want money?
They do, but they also could just take it from you if you have
And
it.
they also tend to have a bit of a grudge against people like you.
Yeah. I would stay clear of down here. And near
It was
down
my
here.
first time down here, so
Yours
And
too.
you're still alive, so you're doing good.
Better than
yeah,
most.
I don't want to come back down here. If I can just make that clear.
Oh, but it's so homey.
Where, please.
That was sarcasm.
Let's regroup at the Underdome. That we won't open for a couple more hours, so
At least we have a name.
Sounds like a plan. I know you said it was pretty quiet down here in general.
Mhm.
But just again, shot in the dark while we're on our way out. Can I just keep an ear out for a certain somebody?
yeah, you can. I will say you don't hear anything.
Okay, cool.
So
Look, I'm waiting.
I'm scheduling another cry.
Yeah, scheduling it.
Hey,
I'm shifting up my afternoon cry.
So you're heading back up to the Underdome then?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, you make your way up, and again, for a moment you feel like you're being followed by someone, but they kind of like trail off. Like, you know, again, this place kind of puts you on edge as well in general, so you can't tell if they was actually eyeing you up or not. But you do return safely up to the Underdome, where you can
Me.
go.
And I stare at Boone. I'll open the door.
Wait, what?
As I go to open the door to the Underdome, I stare at Boone.
I'm not going to apologize.
Oh, at least you didn't break it. Just knock next time.
Oh, we have a name. What did they say? Fresk?
Fresk. Have any of us heard that name before?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like only Boone roll a history check.
Okay. Please be a good roll. That was a D12.
Yeah, perfect.
Love that for you.
No, I don't.
No, okay.
No, it's an
Again,
8.
it would have been a very high DC, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, I rolled a 3. Not gonna do it. Unless you want to make me reroll Chrono Shift.
No.
Mhm.
Well, at least we know where to start. We
Mhm.
have a name.
Issue is, I'm not sure we could find anything more about it without going back in the dark.
No kidding.
Mm.
Unless we talk to some powerful people. I feel like people in power might know stuff I don't know.
I could try. Or maybe we can
What
also.
do you know?
Like,
Oh,
Annie, I do believe that you would probably get the idea that if you expressed like who you were to people who were like more powerful, you might get some kind of like audience. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Interesting.
I have that idea. Look, all I'm saying is if we need it as a resort, a last resort, I can perhaps.
Well, I heard the king's giving a speech tomorrow. Maybe we could get in that way.
Perhaps.
I,
I would also say, uh, granted they haven't been in touch, but if we hear anything from Ray, was it? I don't remember his name. That weird halfling man.
Hopping.
In his sky palace. Perhaps he might have a little bit of answers. Or I'm wondering even if this is what we are helping with. Or if some strange substance was making the rounds
If so, we've got a
Yes.
head start on the job.
Yeah,
Brownie points, maybe.
perhaps.
We could try contacting him.
I'm just gonna shout at the sky. Pray. Can you hear us? Are you with
I would
us?
say
Pray.
I got a message, and I don't think that's going to be close enough or range wise.
Pray said they knew a lot, so maybe they can hear us. Pray.
We could always start back where they took us up.
Oh, that's interesting, Kaya. I like that idea.
Sure. Random alley will be where they're looking.
That's where they wanted us to go. Maybe it's a close enough spot. If the room turned into somewhere for them to lead us, then why wouldn't it be?
Perhaps they
I
have different
imagine.
access points. It moves around.
You know what?
Oh.
Sure, we can try.
Thank you.
If you have any better ideas.
I think it's a good
I
point.
mean-
I think, Boone, I'm assuming through your investigations you have a good amount of contacts, no?
A fair few.
I agree with you that perhaps we will most likely have to go back down to the dark to pursue this further, but maybe you can put out some feelers about getting a deal.
I certainly can, and I can also go back myself if you're not feeling up to it.
Oh, I'll go back down there. But Kaya, if we go back down there, you can't pull that again.
It was a one-time thing. I was just trying something out, and it didn't
That's a
work,
good idea.
but
It
it
didn't
didn't
work.
fail.
And I could
So
have told you that.
You know, I appreciate the initiative.
thank you.
I just would rather 4 of us come out of there instead of less than.
Four of us
Exactly.
did.
This
Come out of the
time.
dark, your first time in, unscraped, is
They
something to
say
be proud
go
of.
big or go home. So I
I
went
mean-
both.
You guys would know, the ones who've been there before. You was kind of in the, like, a little bit less dodgy areas. She wasn't, like, in the deep of it, you know what I mean?
Deep,
But,
yeah.
so... But you think you might have to go a little bit deeper to
Mm-hmm.
get some things
To
from
get
this.
what we want, yeah. Interesting.
Okay. To
Well-
the alley.
Yeah, let's go to the random alley again.
To the alley.
I also forgot to
Ooh.
mention, Mo, you would know that Johnny's brother's called Silas.
Silas.
Tyler.
Just to note that.
Master pass.
He's a scrawny little dragonborn. I mean,
Is that your type?
Would you
Well.
say Silas is a twink?
I think he'd be more like an otter if he's a dragonborn.
Or a, a lizard?
Okay, to the alley.
to the alley. Okay.
To the alley.
Yeah, you
Boone
go.
and Gaia are just discussing this.
So you said that the first time Ray pressed some stones, right?
Right, yeah.
Would I be able to recall which ones he pressed?
Make history check. Or an intelligence check. Either or. I
I'll
know
get
you.
Turn
help because
knocking on
I
the
was also
wall.
paying
Oh.
attention.
I'll
Okay.
take it, because
Yeah, that
Okay,
makes sense. That makes sense.
You
Arnie
said
is
history?
helping Mo.
Mhm.
This one?
History or
24.
intelligence?
24.
Ooh.
You recall the exact like bricks that he pressed in place, the exact order. Very well.
What happens if I press them in that order?
Oh, wow. You're back in the sky palace. But you instead of teleporting to the room that you was, the thing, you are teleported to that like reception area where you left. You can maybe assume that when Frey teleported you, he had a bit more influence over it where you landed. And the receptionist is just like, hello?
Can we speak to
Hi.
Frey?
Yeah,
Frey
really.
in? It's very urgent.
Can't believe that worked.
How did you get up here?
The
We
brains
touched
of
the
the
bricks.
operation.
Yeah, my brain's got us up here.
Let me get in contact with Mr. Hobinson. And then you just see her like go quiet for a moment. Kai, you would probably assume that she's casting some kind of like message kind of sending thing. Takes a moment and then like he's on his way.
Okay.
Wonderful, thank you.
And then there's some
We're gonna
seats
have-
if you wanna like take a seat.
I'm gonna have a
Um,
little seat. They're
I
like
will-
complimentary, like sandwiches.
We have
And
like
then
mints.
yeah,
Coffee?
little table
I'll
with
take
like some
3.
mint. Pocket some, yeah. And yeah, eventually, Hopkinson comes into the room and then stands there and puts his hands on his hips, like, okay then, what do you, how did you get up here?
We tapped the
Uh,
brakes.
yeah, the brains, as I
You
said.
How did a
actually,
door to your secret palace in the middle of an alley?
but you actually paid attention to that. That's
They did.
Obviously.
Why wouldn't
We
we?
were with a stranger in a random
I
alley.
didn't, I'll be
yes,
honest.
I guess, but not many people actually pay attention. So
And that's why
maybe
we're the ones that passed.
you do have a point. Why are you here?
I'll
If I
pull out
may
the
ask.
vial. That
Found something
yeah.
quite concerning.
Okay.
What jobs do you have for us? Because I think we got a head start.
I have no
The
clue
name-
what that is.
Does the name
you know
Fresk
anything-
ring a bell?
No.
Didn't figure.
So, with your information, your unlimited knowledge, per se,
Brain, yeah.
you can't find anything out about it?
I feel like you could. Goodbye.
Or ask,
Perhaps. You said Fresk?
Yes.
Do you know anything else?
Makes people do crazy things.
from what we
Okay.
witnessed,
Or any information on like liquid, metallic, silvery metals or acids?
Imbibed orally, it seems.
Oh, okay. I don't see how this is relevant to what, we're trying to do, but
Well, we were trying to do, but this was something else we were working with.
You did say a trade
will-
of information
yes,
is.
I will offer you the help that I did promise, so
You.
Also, does our job have anything to do with the king's speech tomorrow?
the king's speech?
Yeah, he's making a
Um,
speech tomorrow, we've heard.
I mean, perhaps you could go. What's everyone's passive insight?
18.
insight
Or sorry, no,
12.
16. 16.
Okay, those who were
oh, they're all
16 or above can tell that he might be hinting. Like, he's kind of dancing around the question a bit.
Like,
Maybe not trying to do something specific.
Yeah, so we should be
You
there tomorrow.
You could go.
Yeah.
basically.
Do you know where that is being held exactly?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably
Main Street.
being held not too far from the palace. Probably outside the gates. They normally set up like a whole like stage, and
So it's open to the public.
I mean the speech, yes.
Yeah, probably not the palace.
Yeah. Exclusive zone.
Alright, well, we'll be there. And let us know if you find anything out about this Fresk.
Yes, please, as soon as you can.
I will do.
I would also. I don't know if you have any other. I guess you would call them agents or something like that, but I would warn them that, substance is obviously out there. As we mentioned, it made people do crazy things. This man killed, like, what, 5 people, 6 people, 4 people? I don't know. Something like that.
3 or 4. 3 or
Yeah.
3.
Well,
It's like,
almost.
well, as far as I'm aware, it has not reached the upper part of the city yet. If it has,
Not yet.
it's, let's be completely honest here. It's probably coming from down very far down below. So
We looked around for a bit.
Regardless of
We
where
got
it
the name.
comes from, you shouldn't
Okay.
neglect the issue.
I mean,
Because if it's in the dim, it's only a matter of time.
you do have a good point. I will look into it. I can promise you that.
Another question. What's a good way
Yeah.
of getting in contact with you if need be?
Do you have any access to any spells that can like send messages?
If you have a
Yeah.
scroll for a spell
I
called Sending that I
I-
could just copy down in my book.
I might have to ask someone really quick, but
Just keep popping in from the alley.
yes, but that's kind of like a safety breach because like what if a random person follows you and then they get teleported up as well?
Yeah,
some
so
people.
maybe a sending spell would be better.
Mhm.
Uh,
Or we could keep showing up here. I like this place.
I mean, I'm not
Uh,
saying that you can't come up here anymore, but there is a more
Discreet
better,
entrance.
yes, a better way of coming up that's more official, that has. But I could not take you there in this instance.
Okay, then.
To the
Yeah,
scroll.
if you just give me a moment, and then he just disappears.
Oh. This
It's the
guy.
cheapest spell I've ever gotten.
Oh, something tells me you
If he
just
brings it.
officially signed on.
Well, if they can keep giving me spells, like if they can, this will be a good show of it.
So spells are what you're after?
Isn't everyone after the pursuit of knowledge? Isn't that what you do, in some regard?
In a way.
One way.
I'm more on the humanitarian side.
Maybe I am too.
No offense, but mages usually aren't.
Depends on the school, I guess.
Then, like, a moment later, he kind of goes back, and he has a piece of paper in his hand, and hands over. And is like, they should have everything you need to copy down. You can take it with you. We have another copy elsewhere, so
Perfect. Thank you.
no worries.
Just throw it in my spellbook for now so I can copy it later.
Yeah, of course. So, can I help you with anything else, or is this it?
Yeah, when's word gonna come down about the actual job we're doing?
That has only been like what, 2 days?
Yeah, I just wanted to know timeline,
Yes.
make sure I'm not busy.
Just need to be a bit patient. I will get in touch with you, like I said, when the time comes.
And the time is.
I
Can you
can
give
at
us like
least
an
tell you
approximation?
that the time might be in the next 1 day to 3 months.
That's a range. Yeah, it's quite a range.
Okay.
But this
Well,
the cap is definitely 3 months. I can tell you that.
Okay.
So I know if anything, that's time limit is with 3 months.
Yeah, like is
Is
there a
it-
holiday coming?
Like seasons, holidays, moon
Christmas.
cycles.
Interesting.
No, nothing seems to be special. Like, there might be a few, like, things going on between that, but, like, the actual, like, cap that I was talking about, nothing special that
Random
seems to be,
day?
like,
Oh.
on that day, or, like, it just seems quite random.
Um. We'll see you at the speech tomorrow.
Okay, goodbye, and then he proves away. He's it.
Yeah. Well, I guess
No,
that's
I
our.
really thought that wasn't going to work.
I
Why?
actually can't believe he would just show people the secret entrance to their base.
Yeah, like
Not
he
very
did.
good
It's like-
security.
Didn't even make
I
us
guess
turn
most
around.
people wouldn't notice, but
I mean, yeah, I didn't. No.
if we go back down, I'll point it out to you guys just so in
Okay,
Yeah,
case
we'll
of
Okay.
mark him with a little
emergency, we
chalk.
can all get up there.
I'm not
Yeah,
even
like
about
it-
I'm
the.
not sure about that, but
They might
I
change
could
the
always just tell
password.
you.
Oh, that's true.
How do we get
Well,
back down?
I guess
you
the only thing on
just-
the docket
So
is
like at the exit, right?
Yeah.
There was the circle we left at.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
you know,
yes.
when you all left last time, I ran around this place. It's like a big donut.
Oh,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
A sky donut.
Hmm.
What? Can I ask the receptionist? What's the name of this place?
Is it Sky Palace?
This
Yeah,
is
Sky
Sky
Is it
Donut.
Sky Donut?
It is not Sky Palace. Unfortunately, I cannot give you the name unless I get
You have
permission
like a
from.
Can you
lingo.
give us like the starting letter?
I cannot. It's a breach of information if I do it without any permissions.
Okay. The Sky Donut.
Not
then
even
is
like a
fine.
nickname. Like, what should we call it?
If you want to
You
call
call
it
it
the
a Sky Donut.
Sky Palace,
Sky
the Sky
Donut.
Donut, you can do that. It
Of
works.
course.
I
feel
wouldn't
like
necessarily
donut.
call this a palace though, but if that worked for you, I mean,
I feel like
Well-
donut is discreet. Like, no one will know what we're
So
talking
it's
about.
Would we like
Alteris's house, right?
Yeah.
It's
Speaking
it's
of
not El Terrace's house necessarily, no.
Necessarily.
like
I think
house
that'd be a good name
I
for it.
mean, yes, she does stay here at times, but
is she here right now?
I cannot
I would
tell you
love to have
that.
a word with her.
Is
Aspiring mage and all.
All right, let's not get pushy, lads.
I think it's best that you guys leave now.
Back.
Okay. You gonna
Thanks
go?
for having us. Yeah, go back down to the ground.
Boone, are you going, or are you still gonna snoop around again?
Huh?
You
Good.
gonna go? Okay.
I can't get into anywhere yet.
I mean,
Gotta
yeah.
find a magic lockpick first.
Don't have the access codes.
And yeah, you teleport back down into the alleyway that you came from.
Heck yeah, that was pretty good. Boone, I believe you were gonna say there was one thing left for us to do, right? Or am I wrong?
Say we're just waiting for the speech tomorrow. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't want to go back into the dark this late.
I
Oh.
don't think so.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
getting into the late afternoon now. By the time you got back down there, like, it would be
Do you know
I just
about
want
what
to.
time the speech would be?
what time? About 10 a.m.
Okay, maybe.
Like normally, like with speeches that like the royals do, it's more like they always do it at a specific time just to make
Yeah,
sure that
keep the
people are there,
uniform.
you know? Yeah. Have a
Okay.
routine.
I can host one of you at my place if you wanted to stay in the dawn.
I'm good. I've got my shop.
I'll come then. I'd rather not deal with going back. You know, the hassle of going and then having to come back in the morning.
It's
Thanks.
where would we like to meet in the morning?
I mean,
Who's closest
library.
to the path? Oh,
That
Yeah, so
works.
library's fine with me.
sure.
How far is the library from the palace?
Not that far. It's
Yeah.
the library's quite central.
Mhm.
So meet up at the library, 8:30. Have breakfast. Pop over to a speech.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll see you all there.
You
And
there?
one last thing, if I could do it really quick. When I get back to my room, I'll have my evening cry, and then I'd like to draft up a letter
Okay.
to, I guess, the royal family.
Okay.
So, or perhaps their correspondent or whoever I would know
Yeah, just
to write to. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just disclosing my identity.
Mhm.
Asking for a meeting, and I'm gonna fold it up and seal it, but I'm not gonna send it. I'm just
Okay.
gonna tuck it inside my pocket.
Sounds good.
And that's it.
Is there anything anyone else wants to do before we have a little sleep? Yeah, go on.
I copy over the sending spell into my spellbook.
Yeah, you can do that. You can now have access to sending.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hold
Also,
on. Oh, go on.
I have to show Mo my vampire book collection.
Oh,
I feel like I have like 4 different series. Like,
I didn't
There's
know there were
one
so
where there's
many.
2 vampire brothers that are fighting over a human girl. Like,
so these are
There's
actually my books, so please don't take them.
Oh, okay, I won't.
That's
I
all.
have
But
a.
feel free to look at them.
I didn't know there's so many. I only have I have like a bunch of random ones I keep in my room. So
You are now friends with a librarian, so if you ever need books,
cool.
okay. If nobody else wants to do anything, we can end the session there.
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah?
can keep playing.
Yay!
We
We
can
can
keep
keep
playing.
saying.
Keep going.
The
Well,
next,
one of us
Right
has work.
now.
yeah.
Oh, boo.
The next session we
I
can
think you mean Boone.
go on to, you know, go see
I'm so
the
excited.
speech.
We have had
Um,
so much combat in these past 2 days. I need like an RP session.